Man, I can't believe this crap, man. These cops are out here arresting people just for breaking the law. Man, these tyrants are out of control, bruh. I thought you were a lawyer, now you say you can rap. Well, I've listened to your record, made me go take a nap. The rhymes you're spitting out, they make you sound like a nut. Your latest track, it's got less views now than Cereal's butt. Well, you say you're just a man who wants to smoke out some weed, but you smoked yourself stupid, boy, get the help that you need. You think you could be like Tom McDonald, be an internet star? The problem is your brain's so tiny, it would fit in this jar.
It's a frivolous lawsuit.
You know you were gonna lose.
Frivolous lawsuit.
Now watch me play the blues.
Frivolous lawsuit.
You put against a cat.
Frivolous lawsuit.
Make sure you wear the hat. All parties have been sworn in. I've read your complaint.
It's a frivolous lawsuit.
The way it's written, it sounds like you've been smoking paint.
That means
if we have that title to your shit, we will take it.
Oh, come and take it, bitch.
All right. I want your money and I want your dignity, and I'm taking both.
To quote my good friend Artie, come take it, bitch. Come take it, bitch. Come take it, bitch. Come take it, bitch.
Come and take it, bitch.
She spit in my face.
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 Take it, bitch.
Take it, bitch.
She spit in my face.
You're a fucking idiot.
She spit in my face.
Shot, little thick dude.
A woman walks into the ladies' room at the mall. She enters one of these stalls and sits down to begin doing her business. As she starts to pee, she looks down at her shoes and sees a head poking under the stall, looking up at her with a camera. "What are you doing?" she screams, frightened. "I'm recording you," says Denver Metro Audits. "But this is a bathroom," she squeals. "Yes, a public bathroom, and there's no expectation of privacy in public," he tells her. "You don't belong in here," she yelled. "I didn't see any sign saying that," DMA replies. "It says ladies' room right on the door." Maybe it does, but it doesn't say no men allowed, does it?" he asked her. "What? That's stupid," she sputtered. "You're being a Karen about this, and what's stupid is shaving down there," DMA answered, holding his camera up. "If you let that bush grow in, it would create privacy for your hoo-ha like a hedge." She stared down at the activist lying on the filthy floor looking up at her. "A hedge? Look, they should put a lock on that door if they don't want people coming in. They need to create privacy," DMA said. "It says ladies' room. They assume men won't come in here." "Well, they shouldn't assume that. And I can film whatever I can see. It's my First Amendment right as an independent journalist." "Oh, you're a journalist. What are you working on?" she asked, sarcastically, wiping herself. "I can't divulge that information at this time. The story isn't finished yet," he lied as if there were a story. "No expectation of privacy in public," he reiterated. But I'm in a stall, she cried. Yes, and look, it's open on the top and the bottom, DMA answered in his thin voice. They need to create more adequate privacy, because if I can see it, I can film it. You don't have to like it, but it's my First Amendment right. The conversation droned on like this for a while, the woman on the toilet and DMA on the filthy floor next to the toilet. Finally, the woman says, Christopher, don't you think this is inappropriate? I'm your mom. And that's a true story. Absolute true story.
Oh, man, I love that. That was great. Hello. Good morning, everybody. And welcome to the stream. Good to see so many wonderful people here this morning. Let's see, what do we got? Nancy Marcho, first one. Yes, believe it or not, you made it the first time. Terry Barnes, welcome. Good morning. Cliff Higson, hello. Good to see ya. Commentator Auditor, good morning. Hezokuai land. Hashtag Rise and Shine with Hezokuai. Let's see. Cliff Higson, yeah, what's up? Commentator Auditor Kerry Burns, Cliff Higson, Stanley Hayes, what's up? Susan, the sassy great granny, yes, love you. I love you all very much. See that sometimes, like I'll say that because it always comes up. Like every morning when I do my greetings, like I always want to say love you guys, and then like if I specifically say something about one person, then I feel like, oh well, I don't want everyone else to think I don't mean them too. I'm just, hey, I'm trying to be nice to everybody, but I love y'all. Okay, Terry Barnes, Nancy Marcho, Jimbo, what's up? Terry Barnes, commentator auditor Chelsea May. What's up, Terry Barnes? Graham, yeah. Luna Nights, what's up? I've noticed you've been joining a lot more lately too. Glad to see you again. Love having you here. Let's see, commentator auditor. Salacious, what's up? Terry Barnes, Script Cat is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. The one, the only. Oh man, I love it. Commentator Jimbo, Nancy, Salacious, Chelsea May, what's up? Graham, what's up? Elway Skador, what's up, homie? Let's see, Nancy, Jimbo, Chelsea May, Pat Dagla, Kiss. Yes, always great to see you. Wonderful to see you here. Hope you're feeling good today. Salacious, Graham, Donna Ray, good morning, what's up? Listening while driving. As long as you're not texting while driving, look out. Let's see. Pat Dagler, Edward Catalia, Nancy Script. Anyone else in here I didn't mention yet? Terry Barnes, Chelsea May, Edward, Jimbo. It looks like we're all caught up. All right. So first of all, thank you, Jimbo. Before we even get into anything, I want to make absolutely certain that everybody here, Kiss a Cat, what's up? I want to make sure that everybody understands completely. This morning's stream will be short. It may even get cut off because I don't know if you could pick it up through this mic, but it's literally a freaking hurricane out there right now. I can hear the wind howling, stuff flying, rain slamming everything. It's bad out there right now. So hopefully I won't lose power or anything, but it's supposed to get worse throughout the course of the day before it gets better because we're on the other side of Florida. So we're getting to where the hurricane is just starting to run over us right now. So throughout the course of the day today, the weather's going to be getting progressively worse. So for now, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And like I said, it'll probably end up being short because I'm going to have to, we got to buckle down and get ready for when the bad stuff hits later on. But for now, I'm here and I love you guys. I'm with you guys, trying my best to never let you all down. Trying to give you at least some entertainment to start your day. Yeah, News Now enemy. I was just talking about that. Speaking of that, News Now. I was just looking at some of the stuff you sent me, and I may have misunderstood what you were asking me the other day. If you're specific, because yes, the overwhelming majority of the music that I use is my music. However, I think you were referring, now I didn't realize it at the time, but I think you're referring to the one where I took the Underdog theme song and just changed the words. That's not my music. The music on there is the actual Underdog music. I just overdubbed my voice. So yeah, I got a copyright claim on there. Not a strike, a claim. But when you asked me about, can I use something from your thing for the music? I thought you were talking about like the music that I wrote, my music. And I'm like, go ahead, use it. I don't care. I'm not going to strike you. So if you were talking about that, then yeah, that's the actual Underdog thing. That's not mine. So that's different. It's all right as long as I'm safe. Don't worry about us. Keep yours and yours safe. Yeah, well, absolutely. Like I said, right now we're good. But like I said, I'm just letting you guys know the stream is probably going to be short this morning because of the weather. There's a lot of stuff I got to take care of today because it's supposed to get worse, especially like late this afternoon. We're really supposed to get hit. They're talking about like 70, 80 mile an hour winds by like maybe like 6-7 hours from now. So that's why I'm like, it's okay. I could do this a couple hours this morning, but we'll see how it goes. I modded it. Oh, that was the point. You modded it so that rock and roll, buddy. Thank you. I appreciate that. Like I said, that's why like I just looked at the thing and I didn't really know exactly what you were saying. And that's why I wanted to talk to you about it. So thank you for letting me know. So yeah, man. Oh, I'm excited. I almost want to do that now. Let me see. Is it in my email? Let me check because that would be a fun way to actually start the stream with me being able to do that because I already got the words. I wrote them a long time ago. Let's see. Oh no, this is Georgia Transparency getting arrested. This is from Commentator Auditor. Oh, look at this. You know what? Be careful. Oh, well, as far as the weather goes, we'll be fine. Are you hunkered down? Yes, we are. Just like I say, I'm not trying to like freak anybody out. It's all good, but I'm just letting you guys know again, I'm fine, but to make sure that I remain fine, this is going to be a short stream this morning because I got stuff to take care of weather-wise to make sure everything's all good. All right, so I got this here. All right, so real quick, before we get into the stuff I wanted to cover, I got something from News Now Enemy to look at here, and in the meantime, I also got something from what did this came from Commentator Auditor. So let's take a look at it and see what this is about because I haven't seen this video yet, so I'm interested. So I'm like, hey, let's check it out. And I got it. Speed of lightning, roar of thunder, fighting all who rob or plunder. Hezokuai, Hezokuai, Hezokuai. What's up, chili lovers? Dude, let me tell you something about chili. And I'm not talking about the Castro. I'm talking about beans and tomato sauce, all right? There's a brand of chili called, what is it? Now my Hungry Man chili. And I couldn't find it out here at all. Like when I was in Chicago growing up, that was what we did. Hormel, garbage. All this other, even Campbell's trash. Hungry Man chili. That was the shiznit. That was the stuff I'd put. What I would do is I'd cook a can of Hungry Man chili, the spicy one with beans and meat, of course. And I would cook the whole can, and then I'd make like 2 hot dogs, and I'd put them like in a dish, almost like a bowl, and then I'd just pour the whole can of chili on top and eat that with a fork. Oh, that was heaven. And then I got here in Florida. I couldn't find it. I had to mail order it from Amazon. It was so hard to find. Lilith Squirrels, what's up? Good to see you, hon. All right, so let's get this in this Georgia Transparency arrest that I got from Commentator Auditor, and let's check this out together.
Coastal State Prison, and just in case you guys don't remember, I was here, I guess it's been about a couple weeks or so, and getting my gimbal set up real quick, but in case you guys don't remember, we were let's see here, let me get this gimbal going. As you can see back over here, we were at Coastal State Prison here in Savannah, Georgia, doing a little revisit. I'm here today with Mr. Georgia Transparency.
What up?
Yeah. So we're going to do a little revisit and go check it out. I've learned a little more about what a guard line is. So I'm a little more educated on where we can go and what we can do. Welcome, everybody. If everybody's here at the Coastal State Prison. I'm here with Mr. Georgia Transparency. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe, hit that thumbs up, smash that thumbs up or that like button. Hey, howdy, everybody. Welcome in. We're here at the Coastal State Prison, Savannah, Georgia. Here, I'll turn it around so you guys can see. 30. We got 30 beautiful people, and it's just going up from there. They want to see some excitement here, and I'm sure we would definitely be careful. That's why I brought back up today. But hey, Susan, let me take a look at all these beautiful comments. Shirley Z's in the house. What's up, Melissa? Melissa's there. What up, y'all? Howard. Let's see. You're very welcome. He says, thanks for what you do, Patriot. Thank you. You're very, very welcome. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for everybody's support. What's up, Gravy? Mad Max is in the house. Derek, what's up? Shirley Z, Gravy. Let's see. John, what's up? John Minshew. Howdy. Hey, what's up, Mark? Hey, from Kentucky. He said, John says, Georgia Transparency rocks.
All right.
Let's see. But thank you, John. Thank you. But you can see, just like before, they talk about the guard lines and stuff like that. And of course, we've definitely educated ourselves on where we stand. I'm positive that, yeah, it looked like a guard, but yeah, it looked like an employee, but it looks like she may have had a uniform on. But we know where we can go and what we can do, where the public space is, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll go over here and check it out. Just like last time, I'm sure that they'll try to swarm us. Maybe even the warden will come back out and see us and say hello.
And put handcuffs on you?
For those of you just joining us, we're here at the Coastal State Prison here in Savannah, Georgia. In case y'all haven't seen my other live there from here, they swarmed us big time last time, and I wasn't 100% sure about what the guard line. But as you can see, there's the guard line there, and it's actually, if you look at it, you can't see it. Look, I'm actually coming toward the prison, and you can't even see it. So you see it on the way out, which blows my mind. So those of anybody who's walking in is not going to know that they crossed the guard line. But like Georgia Transparency was telling me, the guard line doesn't really mean a whole lot. The only thing it really means is obviously we can't bring guns, drugs, blah, blah, blah. That's all that means. If you get caught with it, it's just a bigger penalty. That's all it means. Yep, any form of contraband. So it doesn't mean anything. So welcome, everybody. Welcome in. We're here at Coastal State Prison. Make sure you smash that like button. Let's see. And also, just to let you know, today's live is brought to you by the Kiwi Bird Boutique. Make sure y'all go over there and check it out. Give them some love. They help me continue what I'm doing. So make sure you give them some love. What's up, everybody? Let's see. Let me flip through some of these beautiful comments here. Let's see. What's up, Tag? Tag's in the house. CTN, what's up?
Who cares?
Miss Melissa, Mad Max, Tag. Let's see. Can't quite read that one. Vengeance is
Where's
mine.
the good stuff? This is over an hour.
Dale, what's up, everybody? So he's sitting here quoting us some. What it is, what they do is they use scare tactics to try to scare you. So they sit there and try to run their mouth. We'll see what the law has to say.
What's up, Roisin?
Yo. So we're live. Look at all the people that are coming out. Got this guy coming out. You know what? I actually got a better response the first time I came. I'm actually disappointed. I think I had more people out here last time. So they are.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. Hold on. I thought the whole point was to make it so that if anyone films, everyone runs scared and hides like rats and lets you just do what you want because you're the god of the universe because you own a camera. Now, when people show up, she's complaining there's not enough people coming after me. I thought your goal was to get left alone. Now you're disappointed that more people aren't coming after you? Gee, I wonder if that doesn't transparently show proof that they're full of shit. Unlike everything they do.
Are tyrants. Straight up tyrants. It's a public, and yet, hey,
What's this warden's name?
I
They're
forget
tyrants, but
now.
you
I think
just
I
said
have it
you're
on the thing. But
disappointed that they're
if
not
y'all
being
go,
more
if y'all go to
tyrannical.
Google, you can actually Google this. Coastal State Prison. You can actually go to Google right now, and you can actually, the Google car has actually made it through this parking lot. So at Google,
Sir.
I hate that comparison. Okay, we all know and understand that these people are idiots, but that comparison is so freaking stupid. It's beyond comprehension that they can't comprehend. Like, I know I love to talk about how stupid these people are, but then they always say and do things to prove that they're even dumber than I thought. Comparing you standing with a gimbal in a place that you've made it clear that you've already been there and already been told you shouldn't be there, comparing that to a car with a camera on top driving through the parking lot, zip. There's no comparison. If all you did was go up there and then go out, they wouldn't have time to come out and stop you. There's no comparison. It's incomparable. It's a false equivalency. And Rogue Nation knows all about that. That's his job, is to build false equivalencies.
he's not gonna talk to you.
Yeah, he ain't gonna talk. What if I had a Google car driving through here? Google car's been up and through here.
Stupid.
He goes, the inmates are safe for the moment since they're all outside.
Hilarious. Wow.
Miss Leslie's here. Cajun Randy. Let's see, who else has made it in here
Is he a
today?
professional comedian or something?
No, they're not. Apparently cameras. Thank you, Heather. Make sure y'all check it out. KiwiBirdBoutique.com.
Now we gotta wait for the police.
Yeah. So since they called the police, now we have to wait to go talk to the police now.
I love that excuse too.
What's up, everybody? Welcome in.
Like, I love this argument. Another one of the major stupidity things that dumb people say because they're stupid and they don't understand anything. If you come into my house, or if you walk into my business, or whatever, and I ask you to leave, and you won't leave, and I call the cops to get you to leave, now I can't leave because I have to wait for the cops, and I don't want the cops to accuse me of running from the police. The whole point of calling the cops is to get you to leave. So leave. Get out. Now you're not trespassing. Now there's nothing for the cops to do. There's no reason for them to come because you're not trespassing anymore. The whole point is they want you to go. So freaking go. But then that's their big excuse. Well, I don't want the cops to think I'm running for them, so now I have to stay. You're just finding an excuse to continue to trespass and then argue the trespass when the cops do show up. Doesn't add up. 2 + 2 = 1,004,003,108, and these guys' insane brains, because they ain't got none.
Welcome in. For everybody who's joining, make sure you smash that like button.
Please don't.
We're here at the Coastal State Prison here in Savannah, Georgia.
Oh, that sucks.
Apparently the police were called on us for
Good.
cameras in a public parking lot. Go figure.
Yeah, that's why they called the cops.
At a public prison. Y'all make sure.
What if the police dispatch is like laughing at them?
They probably are. So this
let's
today is
see.
sponsored by
The police are laughing at us. Okay, so let's see how they get laughed at.
I don't think you're violent or anything like that.
It is also a felony under OCGA 42-5-17 for any person who both linger or stand around where inmates are employed or kept after having been ordered by the warden, superintendent, or designated representative in charge of the inmates to desist therefrom. So that sign that y'all passed, when y'all came in here, the door line, the establishment that houses inmates.
But you're sitting here trying to turn what we're doing into loitering. I see what you're trying to do, and that's
I'm reading you the state law.
right. But look up the definition of loitering. We do.
So I'm reading the state law for this establishment. Here's the thing. I know we're writing what we're doing. I know we are. Because had we not been, you would have put me in cuffs and arrested us already.
I think it's a stupid charge. Something so easy to fix.
You're right, it's very
So
easy.
I would prefer not.
Yeah, leave.
And I would love to avoid a lawsuit.
So leave.
This is not what I want. I'm here to get my content.
And leave. That's all we want to do is
So
take some
leave.
pictures and leave.
You did take
It's that
pictures.
simple. We would have been out of here in a
This
few
video's
minutes,
been
and
over an hour
this all
long.
would have been
You
dispelled,
already took your
and we wouldn't
pictures.
be
Go
wasting
home.
$500,000 in employees here. That's what they're
You're
saying.
wasting, right?
No disrespect to you, sir, and to Mr. Rich, and no disrespect to anybody. I'm not leaving until I get the content that I came here to get for my story. I'm not.
Did you call ahead?
Okay. Here we go. Since Rogue Nation, since you're in here, right? You tell me. You explain it to me. Okay. This video, I fast forwarded. It's over an hour. So they've been there for over an hour filming. So what content are they trying to get for their story that they haven't gotten in over an hour of filming? They're filming the same thing. So what's the content for their story? This is the content for their story. You don't see why that's a problem? Standing there filming, how long do you stand there to get the content for your story? An hour? 2 hours? 14 hours? 75 years? Until somebody shows up and gives you a story. Using the excuse to these people that you're not leaving till you get their story, when you talking to them is your story, is so disingenuous, so lame. Well, I mean, it's what you do for a living, so I figured you'd understand it. You're an expert at it. You do it every day, all day. You brag about it. Your entire channel is dedicated to it. So, of course, I'm going to ask you, because I would think you know and understand what it is, because you do it. That's like if somebody asked me, like, so what's it like to go online every morning based on the fact that there's someone else who goes online every morning? I have no idea. I don't know. I go online every morning. I know exactly what it's like because I do it. You live your entire life under the exact same insane mentally philosophy that they do. So you should be able to explain it, but you can't because you don't answer anything. You either twist things or give false narratives or flat out lie. Anything to sell your narrative to your fans that you're some big, great American hero when you're just doing the same shit these guys are doing. You stand outside, and I love just before this, and then not even talking to you anymore, Rogue, but just now in this video, they were talking about, well, we're not loitering. So there's a new invention. It's great. In fact, the way these people talk, it's almost as if this thing was invented by criminals. Okay, there's this thing called loitering, but there's a new invention that makes loitering legal. In fact, there is no such thing as loitering anymore. Why? If I'm sitting somewhere and I'm there for hours and hours and hours, and somebody comes up and says, hey, I'm going to have you removed for loitering, all I have to do is go, I'm not loitering, I'm filming. So now that everybody has one of these in their pocket, there is no loitering law anymore, right? Because now you're not loitering anymore. Look at it different. Loitering, not loitering. Loitering? Not loitering. That's the dumbest. I shouldn't say that. That is one of the top 487 billion stupid things that I've heard you idiots say. It's not loitering because I have a camera. You don't get bored standing around waiting for confrontations? Well, of course not, because you caused the confrontations. Bored. I'll show you bored when I hit you in the head with
We don't need
board.
to.
I'm not leaving.
It's called the First Amendment of the United States Constitution.
If you want to arrest me, arrest me. No disrespect.
Yeah, please do.
But if you want to arrest me, arrest me.
Okay, arrest him.
Put your badge on the line for that. Put your qualified immunity on the line for that.
Okay, now let's look at the timestamp here. We got 47 minutes in. Okay, so Dumb and Dumber, Beavis and Butthead have been standing there for 45 freaking minutes, right? Filming. Apparently, after 45 minutes of filming the same thing, they still haven't gotten their content, which they're trying to paint the picture that this right here isn't the reason they came. He's saying, if you want to arrest me, arrest me. And these people all love to paint the picture that all cops do is they want to arrest people all the time. If you want to arrest me, arrest me. Okay. So how come he isn't under arrest? Because the cop doesn't want to arrest him. The cop wants him to just go to hell home.
And I promise you,
Grab
I
him,
will
cuff
go
him.
peacefully. I will not fight
Grab
back.
him, cuff him.
I just asked you, like, cuff
He's
him,
not
put
doing
two
it.
cuffs on, or
But I
cuff
thought
him
all the
in front
cops
of
wanted to
him.
do
I
was
got
arrest
that
him. Then how come they're not arresting him?
But yeah, I don't want you to cuff me either. Exactly. But I'm here to get my content that I need.
Yeah, you do want to get
It's
cuffed.
that
Otherwise,
simple.
you'd leave when they
It's
asked you to
very
leave.
simple. That's all I want to do.
In a
This
public
interaction
parking
is
lot.
your content.
We're not asking to go into the private cells of the inmates. We're literally walking through a public.
No, you're not. You're
Okay.
standing
In a
still
public parking lot. That's
for
it.
almost an hour.
That's all we're looking to do. We would have been we literally have been already gone before y'all even got here.
You
probably
were
would have
there
taken
for
us
over an
10
hour
minutes and we
before
would
they
have been
got
gone.
there.
It's that simple.
Lies.
And
lies,
y'all would have been
lies,
shining.
Lies. Lies. They are always telling
Well, we had
lies.
to wait.
You got to lie to
because
fraud.
he
eh?
said he
Right.
was calling the police. So whenever they
Rogue
advise
Nation
the
knows
police
about
are on the
lying,
way,
that's for sure.
I don't run. I stay.
Oh yeah, see another.
I'm not going to have
bullshit.
you guys chasing me down.
Okay,
I didn't
well,
break
now
any
we're
laws.
here.
I didn't do anything
Leave.
wrong.
Good. You waited. Now we're here. Now go.
Is that a supervisor? No, it's not.
That's y'all supervisor?
I was just coming from downtown.
That's fine. Yeah.
Fine, I got
Hold on. Let's see. Let me fast forward a little bit. All right, let's go ahead. 10 minutes. Okay, so
So.
now,
I've been in more shit.
all right, so 45 minutes into it, 40, he tells the cop, well, if you want to arrest me, arrest me. And of course, they're going to paint the picture that the cop just wanted to arrest him and that was his there. Now, 10 minutes later, he's been yapping the whole time. He's still there. He's still filming. He's still yapping his jaw. And he still hasn't been arrested. So if the cops just came there to violate your rights and arrest you, how come you're still filming, still talking, and still not under arrest?
I oppose my oath.
Y'all careers combined. This is the treatment.
Right.
This is what the Constitution is turning into.
Mm-hmm. We're not loitering. You know that.
Look at Arlington National Cemetery.
This is what the Constitution has turned into. A bunch of idiots wasting their lives filming people. Idiots wasting their lives by being professional assholes for a living. That's what our Constitution has come to. You're right. That is disgusting. Why don't you guys go home and do something productive for society instead of filming yourself being an asshole for internet clout? But guess what? You do that. But you're taking my rights away. What rights? The right to be an asshole? You do it every day. It's your freaking job. What are you talking about? If they're violating your rights and doing other, then how come you're doing it? If they're taking away your right to film, why are you filming for over an hour? If they're taking away your freedom of speech, why are you speaking for over an hour? If they're just locking you up and throwing you in prison for no reason, how come you're still out there for over an hour not getting arrested?
Row upon row of white markers who died to protect
what we're doing.
Yeah.
I don't either.
Flag.
Wait a minute.
Do y'all see an American flag
wait
anywhere?
Wait a minute.
by chance?
Where's your American flag?
Hold on a second.
That's because they don't.
Hold on a second. Wait a minute. Stop. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. See, I haven't watched this video before, so I didn't realize how many stupid things they were going to say that I needed to address. Okay, so let's break that down. Okay. You really believe? Okay, let's say, because I hope that there are at least some people in here that are old enough to have known people that fought in World War II. Because I did. I'm old enough that my grandparents, I knew them. So you're going to tell me that if you went back in time to 1945 and grabbed a random soldier, American soldier, who's out there fighting for our freedom, and brought them to now and showed them this behavior and asked them what they thought, they would say, now that's the freedom I'm fighting for? Or would they say, how come that cop isn't beating the hell out of that idiot with a frickin' nightstick? How dare they speak that way to a police officer? I didn't fight for them to do this shit. They would not accept it. They would say that this behavior is reprehensible, disgusting, inhuman, disrespectful garbage. So quit using them as an excuse, because they would not support what you're doing. They'd be appalled by this behavior. In fact, that's why, you know what? Now that I said that, I'm going to double down on my idea of getting old people to start watching these videos and seeing their reactions. Because just yesterday, I covered a video where an auditor was auditing a post office, and an old lady with a freaking cane came walking up talking about how appalled she was by their behavior. So you want us to believe that that generation that fought for your rights would be happy that you're out here doing this? They would be freaking appalled. They hate that you're freaking doing this, and they can't believe that it's being allowed. So quit using them as an excuse.
Believe in America. You see an American flag? There's the
Pardon my French, Ward. Where the fuck is your American flag at?
y'all see an American flag down there? That's the main, I guess, visitor center where everybody comes in. Where's their American flag at? Y'all see it? I guess that's.
I missed that one.
Yeah, I guess that's very telling for everybody.
That does anger.
Like, you got to make sure that you let everyone know you're in America.
Whether treat, I don't see it anywhere.
America.
I don't see it
Y'all got
anywhere.
one from the police department, don't you?
Oh, I guarantee you got one in the police department.
Yeah,
We see your flapping jaw.
I've never been there before, but I'm gonna probably say y'all do. I'm
And your
pretty sure y'all do
stupidity.
have one.
We see that.
So those of you who are joining, we're here at the Coastal State Prison. I guess the warden, the tyrant, sitting over there in the
Blah, blah,
pink
blah,
shirt.
blah, blah. Where's the good stuff?
We got the Savannah PD, so we're going to see how the Savannah PD.
And now this is over an hour.
No, I'm literally just taking pictures.
Literally
That's
been
it.
there for over an hour.
Banana Anna's in here.
What up?
Car Thief News. What's up? What's up? Look at all these beautiful people supporting everybody. Heather, what's up, Miss Heather? Vengeance is mine. Tina in the last 20. Fab Daddy, OSO, Jacqueline Smith. Gosh, there's tons of comments, tons of love. Unindoctrinated. Thank goodness I charged up my phone and charged up all these beautiful batteries. Hey, from MA, I'm assuming that's Massachusetts, England here. Gosh, we even got people in the UK. Everybody's in here.
Snap.
Yeah. Oh,
Man, I got hundreds of people watching y'all.
almost thousands. Thank you, Shauna. I appreciate it.
That's almost up there.
Thank you for the love. Yeah.
And since we're not here for internet clout and YouTube clicks and views, let's brag about how many people are watching.
Yeah, everybody, there's actually a storm coming. Excuse me, it's out in the Atlantic, and I think it's curling around. And it's supposed to hit Savannah, I think, tomorrow. But by the time it hits Savannah, it's supposed to be like a lot of rain. So Y'all go over to Georgia Transparency's channel and check him out. Give
Why?
him some love.
No.
Don't forget about him. Y'all go
Oh,
over there
I
and check
will.
him out. Tell him J-Town
Unless I'm
sent
making
you.
fun of him.
Is that him?
Okay. Is he coming?
This way.
It's a little chilly out right now. At least it is for me. I'm sure you guys with t-shirts and shorts on aren't that cold.
Freezing because of your
Yeah.
cold black heart.
Oh, got it playing through the car phone. I was just narrating. Yeah.
Yes, point out to the entire world
Exactly
your
right.
stupidity.
Very illegal.
All the hundreds of thousands of people viewing don't know how
Like
stupid
button.
you are yet.
What's up, everybody?
How you doing, sir? Good. I'm investigating more with
Moore.
MOR.
Okay, thank you.
And so, what you guys are doing is you're inside the guard line for the prison, okay? Which is against the law for y'all to be here. What law? All right, it's against the law because at this point,
I wonder what they cut out there.
Okay. All right. You can do it with you.
All right, y'all.
Yes.
Looks like
Yes.
he's going to be arresting.
Yes. Yes. Finally, somebody's doing something.
We'll see what happens.
Take them away and lock them up. Hey, hey, hey. That would be so wonderful.
Yeah, put it down somewhere.
Put it down. Oh, y'all arrested her too? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah, what's that?
What
I
reason
didn't.
could
He
they-
told me I was detained. I couldn't leave.
Yeah, yeah,
Couldn't
yeah.
leave. He told me I was
Bullshit.
detained.
Bullshit, 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 bullshit.
So, I mean, how am I going to leave the down detained?
Oh, this is so nice. Too bad they didn't resist. That would have made it even more fun to watch. But that's all right. Hopefully, over time we'll start seeing more and more arrests like that. I'd like to see them come sooner. That took over an hour. It should be more like, excuse me, you can't be filming in here. Well, I have the First Amendment. Boom. The second they hear that, they know, oh, it's one of these auditor guys. Tackle them. Take them downtown. Beautiful. Problem solved. Watch how quick the auditors would stop auditing if that became a thing. That'd be beautiful. Oh, what a wonderful world it would be. Talk about a free country. I'd be free to be able to do whatever I want without having to worry about some idiot frauditor showing up. Oh, that would be so nice. Talk about freedom. That'd be great. Anyway, since the anti-freedom Satanists want to go ahead and keep doing this, I want to, hey, ATV Thunder. I don't get the stupidity. Well, no, Jimbo, again, that's why, like, see, this is the thing. It's when the only thing that you can do to make money is to film yourself being an asshole. And the results of that sometimes are you getting arrested and then you get out of jail and it's like, well, what am I going to do? I need to get a job. Well, I'm not going to do that. Are you nuts? Get a job? No, I'm going to go back to frauditing. I'll pay my fine, whatever. I'll just argue sovereign citizen bullshit in court and hopefully they'll drop the case. And who knows, if I'm lucky, maybe I can file a lawsuit and get a big payday. So once again, it's about the money. Follow the money. You want to understand everything and anything that's going on? Follow the money. They want to get paid, and that's why they do what they do. And it's the only thing they can do to make money because they're not going to get a job. You tell them to get a job, and they're going to scream and yell and cry and holler about, oh, how dare you say that to me? And I love it when they go, I'm not going to get a job because I'm not a slave, and people who work are slaves. Oh, all right, cool. So go lay down in the dirt because if you're not going to work, because working is slavery, then obviously you're not going to build roads or homes or houses or run the electricity or hang on the wires or keep the telephone poles going, or when the electricity goes out, go up there and fix it. Are you an engineer? Are you everything that anyone could be? How about building bridges? You're going to get out there and pour the concrete and lay the foundations and build the bridge and do the math and figure out all the science behind it, because you want freedom, right? And you don't want anyone to ever bother you. You don't want any rules or anything like that. You just want to not work, because people who work are slaves. So the cell phone that you're filming on, the people who built that camera, they shouldn't have built it because they're slaves. So you should get rid of your camera. Anyone who has a job is a slave. So the people who build and launch the satellites that control your internet access, those all need to be destroyed, because the people who built them are slaves. So there's no more of those. There's no electricity, so you can't charge your phone, because people who work are slaves. So they'd stop working. So there'd be no electricity. There'd be no internet. There'd be no electricity. There'd be no clothes for you to wear. You didn't sew your own clothes. There'd be no food for you to eat, because nobody's farming, because that's a job. And jobs are horrible, terrible slavery, and no one needs one, right? So in your more free, better world, everyone just runs around like animals, fending for themselves, eating each other because there's nothing else to eat. Wow, that's great. I'm glad you're out there fighting for that, you stupid, dumb, idiotic, imbecilic, small-brained, dim-witted morons, scruffy-looking nerf herders. Let's see. How many false narratives can you go through in 5 minutes? Well, I'll tell you what, Rogue. Basically, it really depends. Like this video that I just did, there were so many false narratives that they spun in there. I covered probably 50 of them already. So yeah, the more false narratives that they spin, the more I'm going to go over. So it really depends on how bad the frauditor is and how many lies they tell. Each lie that I call them out on, if they tell 500 lies and I call them out 500 times, then yeah, I'll be spinning a lot of false narratives then when I'm, pointing out their evil and heartless black stupidity and scumbaggery. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. But yeah, that's a good point. I actually fought and killed for this country. No one will ever know the shit that I went through. All right. Well, hey, man, thank you for your service, sir. Let's see. My father instilled having a backbone. He'd never back down from what he believed in. I'm out. See you in an hour if Hez is still on. We'll see. It all depends on the weather. Like I said, I'm right out here in the path of the hurricane, so we'll see what happens. But so far, so good. So far, so good. Rogue Nation needs to lay off of smoking crack. He was so ugly. His mama fed him through a slingshot. Oh man, he never got any respect when he was a baby. He asked his mom to breastfeed, and she said, "I just like you as a friend." Oh my goodness. Let's see. Where's the other thing I wanted to talk about here? Oh yeah, here we go. So what I kind of wanted to do is I wanted to spend some time going over some things that have come up a few times with me recently, and I wanted to sort of get into. And like I said, since I know today's stream, because of the weather out here, is probably going to be cut short, I just want to get into it. Yes, Rogue. You know what? That's a good point. He says, "I love this channel. I get such a kick out of idiots in the morning." I think that's one of the reasons why I do have so many wonderful followers and people that I love that come here every day, because you're right. They love watching these idiots. I mean, it's entertaining to watch stupid people be dumb and then post it on YouTube. Like, it's bad enough that these people are so stupid that they think it's a good idea to film themselves being stupid, but then post it on the internet for us to laugh at. That's amazing. Amazing. Oh man. Yeah, it is. It is a kick watching idiots. That's why we do it. So, he's so stupid. He thinks that we don't know and that we're not being sarcastic. That just proves how dumb he is. Um, so, anyway, auditors are serving a purpose to entertain you. It's the money in the bank has. Yeah, but see, here's the thing, and I like excuses like this. The auditors serve a purpose to entertain us, so it isn't loitering. Here's the thing, and this goes into a little bit deeper, which is what I wanted to do. So this is a good way to segue into the next thing, my next segment I wanted to get into. So because I've been hearing this, not just now when he said that, I've heard this a few times, like, well, we're providing entertainment for you guys, so that's serving a purpose. Excuse me. I didn't build a channel and start calling out Jackass when they came on TV. Well, it's just idiots filming themselves being stupid, and you're getting entertained by watching them be stupid, so what's the problem? The problem is that if you actually sit down and get into a discussion with these mental insignificant pea-brain morons, they will tell these big, huge stories about this fight for civil rights and liberty. And that's the problem. You want to film yourself acting stupid and post it on the internet, I don't care. But you're sitting here trying to spread to the world through the internet this idea that you filming yourself being an idiot is some kind of freedom fight, some kind of civil rights, liberty. That's all bullshit. You're doing it to get paid. Quit lying. That's why I love the fact that there were a couple people who came on troll and straight up said, I saw Frauditor videos. I realized that I could make money by being an asshole. I'm an asshole anyway, so I just figured I'd start doing it, and that's why I audit. Like, at least they're honest. At least they're honest. Trying to sell this whole sovereign citizen narrative and as like it's this big civil rights movement is bullshit. And this is even more important, and why it's not just entertainment and it's not okay, using Jackass as the example again. Well, what's the difference? It's just a bunch of idiots filming themselves being stupid. Yeah, but guess what? They were doing bad, horrible, rotten, evil, no good things to each other. I don't see Rogue Nation out there auditing DMA and those two going at it. No, they're going up to the old lady on the street or the lady who's working her ass off trying to take care of her family, sitting there trying to feed her kids, working a job, having some dickhead come in and shove his camera in her face and make her want to cry and then laugh about it. We made her cry just because we had the camera. Oh, I'm so proud of myself. I made a woman cry. I'm a man. I'm a real man because I made a woman cry. And if she quits, oh, now you want to talk about an alpha male, a real man whose entire life is dedicated to love and peace and joy, gloating about making a woman quit her job and being proud of it. Now that's a man beating a woman down until she quits her job and cries and goes home. That's something to be proud of, you piece of shit. Okay, what now? That's why more cops are coming to our side. Yeah, because they're being trained to leave you guys alone because you guys are making the laws worse, not better, you dumb fuck. All right, let's see. Oh, Angel, come here, huh? She's shot. She ain't going nowhere. I will, though. Thank you. Rogue never walked up. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I keep forgetting. The entire universe revolves around Rogue Nation. He made it clear when he explained to us that he's one of the Joneses and that the Rockefellers' job is to lick his ball sack every day because the Rogue Nation Joneses are the rulers of the universe. I apologize. I forgot for a moment that the entire world revolves around Rogue Nation. I apologize, sir. I mentioned something that didn't specifically apply to you personally. From now on, all I will ever do is say words that specifically apply to Rogue Nation personally and have nothing to do with the frauditing movement in general. Screw you, you heartless wretch. Okay. What now? They can't get jobs because they have criminal records, which again, one of the first paragraphs in my book, right? Thank you for choosing to become a professional jackwagon. And you know what? I'm going to read it verbatim because it applies to what you guys are saying. So how does my book open? First paragraph. Congratulations on your decision to dedicate your life to being a professional jackwagon. I can assure you, you will find your new chosen profession will increase your arrest record at least tenfold, increase your chances of being trespassed by over 15,000%, and will make almost everyone hate your guts. So there you go. Let's see. He said Rogue harasses little old ladies in the street. Right, but then I immediately followed it up with the ladies in the office, which he does do daily. So there you go. What do you think about cops going on LAA stream and say you folks were wrong? Well, first of all, that didn't happen. So thanks for lying again. Or I'm sorry, mischaracterization of the facts, misstated. And because you're a frauditor, everyone has to believe everything you say, especially because you're Rogue Nation, ruler of the universe. We all have to immediately take your twisted version to fit your narrative of events. Sure. Whatever you say, pal. Like when he gave that speech to the police to teach them how to deal with First Amendment auditors, that the only reason that speech happened was because they were trying to sort of play damage control with the fact that he actually did have a legitimate claim against the cops, which I admit openly in that one particular case. So to sort of capitulate and play damage control, they let him give his speech, and he's gloating about how, look at how the cops are starting to do what I tell them officially now. No, they're not. They're letting you do it so that you'll shut up and not file a lawsuit. That's why. Believe me, the police would be much, much, much happier if you idiots would just freaking disappear, okay? Because then they'd be able to do their jobs without assholes completely interrupting and interfering and making it impossible for them to do what they're trying to do. Okay, listen. You guys are so stupid. It's amazing. All right, so you're talking about Long Island Auditor. He's meeting with other police departments and being assisted by other police departments and this and that and this and that and this and that. Right. Here's what you morons are not Cindelution. I didn't say hello. Hello. All right. So listen. I'm going to try and actually explain this, and hopefully your tiny little insignificant pea brains, the one neuron you have that might actually still be firing, because obviously you could still breathe, so there has to be something going on there, may be able to comprehend, okay? These idiots with cameras keep causing problems and causing problems and causing problems and causing problems, and there's nothing you can do. And I'm going to grab that, and I'm going to put it here for a second. We're going to come back to that, because that's extremely important. So there's nothing the police can do to stop you, short of laws being made to take away our rights that you guys are supposedly fighting for. So the only way to deal with you guys is to actually create the thing you're supposedly fighting against, which right there is why your whole everything is absolutely nonsensical bullshit. Because what you are doing is basically saying, hey, it's like when they made laws against robbing banks. It was like, we're going to go out of our way to purposely keep robbing banks until you make a law saying that you can't rob banks anymore. It's like you're purposely going to go out of your way to keep frauding until they actually do make laws against filming in public. Then what? Then what did you prove? That you can get the Constitution changed? That you can force the government to take away our rights? I thought your goal was to make the country more free. So you're doing it in a way that the only way the police can fight against it is by creating laws that will infringe on our rights? Because that's the only way they're going to stop you, unless, now let's go back here and take that thing that I put over there earlier. Well, you're talking about with Long Island Audit. That's their attempt to try and find a way to deal with you idiots. They're not agreeing with what you're doing. They don't think what you're doing is a good thing. What they're doing is they're saying, okay, we can't get rid of these assholes legally because technically they have the right to do it. So maybe if we work with them, we can get them to frickin' stop and let us do our jobs, because they know, oh, these cops and us are together, so I know that they're that I don't have to get in their face and take them away from what they're trying to do because I'm standing here screaming and harping and hollering and being an asshole. Like, how do you stop them? Well, you can't make laws to stop them, so let's try and work with them to sort of massage their ego a little bit enough so that maybe they'll leave us the hell alone and we could finally go back to doing our job without these assholes getting in our way. Telling you, man. No, see, that's the thing. That's the thing. Like when you say this and you say this, what you're doing is you're ignoring reality, right? You're going back to this world that you've built in your head that does not exist. See, that's a huge part of the problem with frauditors and sovereign citizens and Moors. They've blue-pilled themselves into a world that doesn't actually exist. And I'm here to try and red-pill you morons back into the real world. You think that because, but it's like, okay, all right, here. Let's say that I have someone's arm here. Okay, I have a pencil. Now let's say that I start pushing in the middle with my thumbs and pulling with my fingers at the same time, right? Now, what's going to happen if I do that? The pencil's going to crack. Now, let's say I start doing that, and then the pencil cracks. I can say, well, I never meant to crack the pencil, but what do you think's going to happen if you keep doing this? It's going to crack. Well, my intention isn't for the government to get even worse. Yeah, but that's what you're doing. You're going like this. And then saying, but my goal isn't to crack the pencil, but you're cracking it. How do you not understand that? Because you're a stupid frauditor. That's why you don't understand it. So that gets back to the... Oh, hey, Rogue, everyone in the chat still picking on you for your fake assault role. That was great ballet. And I was thinking with Christmas coming up that I was going to do, I'll tell you guys now because it's still a month away. Who knows what's going to happen. But what I've been thinking about is taking that video of Rogue Nation pretending that he's falling down and doing that pirouette before he goes to the ground. And re-editing it because Christmas is coming up with, some of the Nutcracker Suite, maybe the Sugar Plum Fairy. And then we could make Rogue Nation the Sugar Plum Fairy. And that would be hilarious. I got to go, Hez. Thank you, Script Cat, for coming out. It was great to see you. Always good. Love you. Thank you for coming by. Let's see. That's what pushing the boundaries does. Yes, exactly. It breaks the boundaries. The problem is they're pushing the boundaries of intelligence. Hold on. They never. No, that's the thing. Okay, Rasheen, that's the thing, right? This is the whole thing. They believe somehow something in their brain thinks that servant getting into like, well, who's your servant? Well, your maid, your butler, they're your servants, right? So since these guys are public servants, they have to follow our demands. It isn't about asking someone, may I please get a FOIA form? It's about, give me a FOIA right now. Screw you. I don't care if you don't like being filmed. I'm going to do whatever I want because I own a camera, which makes me God, and you a piece of shit on the bottom of my shoe because you're just a public servant. And their black little crusty hearts go because they're so excited that they finally got to disgrace someone and make someone feel small. Making people feel small and then stepping on them and grinding it into the dirt is the only way they could get a boner, especially people like Rogue, because he loves picking on women. He loves picking on women. His entire career is based on picking on women. It's I think it's the only way he can get off. I don't know. Just any way that he could take someone, make them feel small, which makes him feel big, and then grind them into the dirt. That's the only way he'll ever be happy. And film it and post it on the internet to boost his own ego and make himself feel like he's Mr. Rockefeller Jones who pays all the taxes and therefore has the right to give everyone as his servant and must do what he says when he says it because he said it. Because I don't know, I guess I keep saying that he thinks he's God, but obviously if you think you're God, then that's Satan. So he's actually the devil, right? So everyone bow down to the satanic cult that is the Rogue Nation. All right, let's see. What else do we have here? Isn't that the purpose of this show? Isn't what the purpose of the show? To call out idiots and to expose the world to their stupidity and to hopefully try and red pill them. In fact, you know what? I think that's my new mission statement. My old mission statement was, well, I'm not going to get rid of my old mission statement. I'm going to add to it. My original mission statement was, and for those of you who don't know, what's up, Zerzu? Because Dave said, isn't that the purpose of this show? So let me go back real quick. For any of you who missed it, maybe you didn't watch my intro video on my main page. So let me state it right here for the record. My purpose is I'm an independent journalist using my First Amendment freedom of the press to work on a story about frauditors. How about that? Put that in your pipe and smoke it, you cunts. I'm sorry. There's British people in here, so that's why I thought it'd be okay to say that word. On the record, for the record, let the record show that I've added a new piece to my mission statement, which is I want to red pill you guys back to the real world because somebody somewhere blue pilled you guys into this imaginary universe where what you're doing is okay. So it's to work on a news story using my First Amendment right to be press on frauditors and hopefully to try and make the world a better place by red pilling them back into reality. Let's see. I'll be out of communication starting tomorrow. Unlike you, Hez, I'll be group writing the well, good luck, ATV. I got the hurricane outside my door right now, literally. That's why I was saying I might have to cut it off early. But in the meantime, we're all good. I'm not British. I'm sorry. Corrections 101. What's up? Like I said, I didn't mean to, Whoa, what in the world is this? $20 super chat. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it so much. Let's see what we got here from Cinda Lucian. Rogue Nation. They say is I have no right to privacy in public. I spent the last 2 years at home. Finally thought I could go out again, but they tell me I have no right to go out in public if I don't want a moron recording me. Yes, exactly. If you don't like being recorded, you have no rights because you have no expectation of privacy in public, and the idiot with the camera is going to film you whether you like it or not. And God forbid, ask them to stop filming you. In fact, let me add that because I'm making my list. I'm working on it over time. I'm putting together the 10 commandments of the auditors. And I was telling you guys yesterday and the day before that I still haven't decided which is the number one sin you can commit with dealing with a frauditor. Is it you filming them? Because again, they always say that they're out there fighting for the right to film unless you're filming them. Then that's a completely different thing. For some reason, because reasons. So the sins, one would be filming them, because if you do, you're not a First Amendment activist like they are when they film. You're a Canbeck and Karen. But the other one, well, wait, before I get lost on the new one that I just saw, I wanted to add. I'm filming you filming this live stream. Well, if you want to get like super meta, then what you do is you film yourself filming me, filming this stream, and then I'll turn the camera around and film you, filming me, filming you, and then we'd really get into it. I know that didn't make sense, but what do you want? It's early in the morning. Let's see. Oh, yeah, the privacy in public thing. So you have the right to film, but nobody else can. Oh, that's what it was. The other sin, trying to figure out the numbering of the sins in order. The sin of asking them not to record you or by telling them you feel uncomfortable being recorded. That is one of the worst things you can ever do, is not feel comfortable on camera. If you don't feel comfortable on camera, you are an inhuman monster that needs to be immediately destroyed. And what I think that the frauditors want is anyone who feels uncomfortable being recorded, instead of like respecting on any level the fact that they as a human don't feel comfortable on camera, what you're supposed to do is record them even more so that they could feel really, really bad and then say, well, what's the problem? It's just a camera. But it's not the camera, it's the person holding it, because when they ask you to stop filming them, but you continue to film them, that's your choice to continue to film them. That's why it's not the camera, it's the idiot holding it, right? But if you ask them to stop recording you, you're all right. Once again, right? Just trying to understand, okay? When you do what these guys do, and you turn the camera on these people who ask you not to be filmed, and you say, well, there's no expectation of privacy in public, the whole point on your end is legally, I have the right to film you if you're in public. Okay. But our argument is, the fuck does that have to do with it? What does that have to do with it? You legally have the right to film. Okay. Please don't film me. Well, I legally can. Okay. Great. Please don't film me. Yeah, but I can. Great. Please don't. I mean, are you going to grab somebody by the hair and start punching them in the face? Stop hitting me. No. Well, I legally don't have the right to just punch someone in the face. No connections. No connections. The neurons do not connect in their brains and they don't understand anything. It's not against the law to quarter troops. They just can't force you to. That's a fact. Thank you. One of my favorite idiots is the guy who thought he had the right to go up and film in a public defender's office because it's, yes, Sam, I am. Yes, I covered that video here. It was hilarious because it's like, okay. It was hilarious because the public defender's office, the frauditor, literally, and I mean, I don't think the guy was being sarcastic. I think he actually, because we always like to say, oh, these guys are stupid. But I think this guy literally actually was that stupid. He was legitimately making the argument that because it said public defender's office, that the word public meant that it was a public building and the public could go in there. No, it was a private office for the public defender. Like, because the word public was in there, he tried to argue that makes it a public building. No, it doesn't. You have to look at public being used as an adverb. It's the public defender. It's not public, it's public defender. That's his title. That's not the nature of the location. It's the title of the person located within. Dumb. Dumb. Do you see why we think these people are dumb? Now, who's this asshole? What's this? Crybaby, stop filming me. It hurts so much. Okay. So you want to throw your 2 cents in there, Mitten State? Are you still here? If so, then answer me this question. Answer me this question. If I tell you I don't like being filmed, you could say that I'm a crime baby. You could say that I'm a whiner. You could say whatever you want and be the biggest prick in the world, because obviously you are, or you wouldn't have even said that in the first place. But let's put that aside for a second and ignore your obvious douchebaggery. So if someone tells you they don't like being filmed, you know what? You're right. It doesn't hurt. But what the hell does that have to do with the fact that they asked you not to film them? Like, why can't you, your teeny tiny little insignificant piece of black coal that you call a heart, have even the slightest, tiniest little bit of empathy to say, oh, okay, I just won't film that one particular person? Why is that so difficult? Because your heart is a black, dead piece of shit that came off of the bottom of my shoe, and you have no soul. You work for the devil. How do you not understand that? No empathy, no love, just please don't film me. Oh, okay. Why is that so hard? Why is that so hard? Watch. Please don't film me. Okay. Holy shit. Oh my God. It's the end of the freaking universe because I went like that. Whoa, whoa, oh, whoa. Why is that such a nightmare for you? Why can't you guys just say, okay? Why can't you just do that? Beta. Why can't you just do that? Because it's probably a woman who's saying, don't film me. That's why. And you love dominating women. You love controlling and targeting women because they're easy targets. And you can really dig into them and make them feel like shit and stomp on them and rub them under your feet and go home and praise yourself at your ability to make people feel uncomfortable and to be a professional asshole. Beautiful. Oh, I'm so happy with myself. I'm such a man. I'm such a manly man because I could make other people feel like shit and make money off of it. Oh, yes. Oh, oh baby. Oh, look at me. It's a camera fetish. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. They watch their footage and they take their clothes off and they rub oil all over themselves and they go, oh, look at how many people I made feel sad today. Oh, making people feel sad is such a rush for me. Oh, I get off so much on making people unhappy and I get paid to do it. Oh. Heartless, soulless, emotionless, stupid, no empathy, no respect, no decency, nothing but absolutely random pieces of crap, garbage human beings that serve no purpose on this earth other than to piss people off and get paid for it. Thank you very much, Captain Ron. I appreciate that. So, Vilified Freedom's in the house. Hey, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. You got good timing too, because I got all the cursing out of me. I was just actually, it's interesting because I was just comparing these idiots, these frauditors, and all these people to devil worshippers, in the sense that, like, their lack of love, their lack of empathy, their it shines through in the way they behave and the way they treat people, right? Like, because I know you, Vilified specifically, are on our side as far as believing in Jesus, right? Because normally I don't talk about religion on my channel, but I know that you're down with it. So I'm trying to say, like, when you go into a room and someone there asks you nicely not to film them, and you say, I'm going to film you anyway because I have the right to film, does that come from a place of love? Does that come from a place of kindness? Is that something that comes, or does that come from hate? Does that come from anger? Does that come from everything that the devil stands for? You're doing the work of the devil and you don't even know it. But that's on a whole nother level. So let's see. Yeah, they don't believe in empathy. They only believe in stupidity. Let's see. Selfishness. Yes, they are filled of selfishness. They're full of, well, they're full of hate, right? And if here, I'm gonna, you know what, real quick, I'm gonna take a step back real quick. I was gonna get into something else, but the way this is going today, I'm gonna step off the path for a second, because I think this is extremely relevant to what we're talking about right now. Let's see, what was it? It was all right. Wolverine transparency. I showed one of his videos yesterday, and yesterday when I showed it, I had never seen that particular video before. So I was not sure what to expect, but now that I've seen it, now I'm gonna start this here. Now explain it to me how this whole thing, if it doesn't come from a place of hatred, if it doesn't come from a place of anger, if it isn't born out of anger and hatred and everything that's wrong and wicked and evil in the world, why would this happen? And tell me, if it doesn't come from evil and wickedness, and whether you're religious or not, evil is a word, it has a meaning. Wickedness is a word, it has a meaning. These are things. Watch this and tell me how the frauditor's behavior, or in this case, I guess cop watcher, I called him a frauditor to his face and he almost had a conniption fit. This cop watcher, tell me how what he does in this video does not come from a place of hatred and wickedness and evil. Just listen to him.
It's a lot, 10 times louder than me. How many times you think he pulled people over in that? You know what I mean? I guarantee it. That's what this is about. So he writes them pretty quick. He's a professional at it. He gets it done efficiently, fast. If he was within the law, I think that he would make the perfect example of a systematic tailored police officer doing what he's told. You know?
Doing what he's told. All right. So now he's waiting for the cop to say something. The cop ignores him.
See, he might even be using his discretion at times. But does that matter? Does it?
Yes.
When he's in color of law, if so many people was to redress their congressmen and women about how, in the manner how he's pulling people over down there, I think we can make change. I think we can make change with this. And while we make change, this is how it's done. We got to record them in the court of duty. We got to show
now leave him
and
alone.
redress them in the manner that they're being.
He's trying to write his ticket and
making
finish his
victims
report.
down there. Section 603 applies to this officer, and he continues to make people victims. He continues to pull people over while breaking the law. So everyone that he does,
No. You got it wrong. He pulls people over for breaking the law.
He can't use the excuse that, you know what? I finally looked up the code because I got a computer in my vehicle. It's in 603, Section 4 plainly tells him, if you're going to break a law, you have to have oscillating white, yellow,
red, I love this.
Or
I love this.
Blue going. Yeah, roll that.
Okay. I'm glad I picked this part because, this guy, his videos are like 2 or 3 hours long. So it's hard to pick one specific spot. But I remember this spot now, and I like that. First of all, I like the fact that he said that if he pulls someone over, for, breaking the law, it's like, no. He pulls people over for breaking the law. But what he's saying right now, listen to what he's saying. He basically says that a cop can't do what this cop's doing unless they have their lights on. Look at the lights and tell me whether or not they're on. He's making an argument, and this goes back to the false narrative building that I talk about. His audience is buying into it. He's saying that the cops' lights aren't on while they are clearly on in the video. And his fans buy it. Forget what he's saying and look at the video. The lights are clearly on.
Window up because you already heard it. You already heard it. He just took me for granted. He didn't know that. You got to do it unless you're a detective. Now, if you're in an investigative moment where you were undercover in an unmarked car, then you could do that. But you can't do that right here, right now. You can't do this. He has proven that he can. His commanders stand behind him because this is their moneymaker. And that is why they wrote me the ticket. They know they'll murder me any chance they get. They murder people all day long and they get away with it because he did his job. He did his job in good faith.
Okay. This is another thing that this evil idiot keeps harping on over and over and over. Because like I said, he does this all day, every day. He says that cops are just running around murdering people all day long. Okay, you're out there filming cops on the street all day long. How many murders have you filmed? Since cops are just running around murdering people all day long, you must have gotten tons of them on film because you just film cops all day long, right? So if they're murdering people all day long and you're filming them all day long, then you have footage of so many murders, right? Where are they? Oh, well, you haven't filmed any. Oh. So how can you make the argument that they're just out there murdering people and all you do with your whole life is film them and you've never filmed one murder? How can the argument that all they do is murder people possibly even begin to stand up? It doesn't, because you're an idiot. Wah, 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 wah.
That's not good faith when you break the law, sir. It really ain't. See, as long as you
that's
don't
why he pulled the guy over, because he broke the law.
Gordon, I won't disrespect you. I'll just redress you without calling you names. Because that's what got you pissed off the last time. For you to be in violation, to write me a ticket on free speech when you said I was interfering. Interfering is a physical act, sir. I'm not stopping you from nothing. You can do whatever you want. But the people's going to have their day. And people are voters, man. Everybody's been a victim of this down here, and we're sick of it.
Who's everybody? People who get caught breaking the law? That's everybody? People who get pulled over for speeding? That's everybody? Guess what? Not everybody speeds, buddy. And let me tell you something about this. Ask Hat directly. So the whole thing, the whole reason why I started covering this idiot in the first place was because the other day, and I played the whole thing here yesterday. If you want to go back and watch it, I got it. KFAR covered it too. BSBT went live, and I actually was on BSBT's panel because I wanted to ask BSBT some questions. But instead of being able to ask him questions, this idiot shows up on the panel, Wolverine Transparency, and he starts talking about all of this other stuff that had nothing to do with what I was trying to talk to BSBT about, even though we were on BSBT's channel. And he completely dominates the conversation and starts making all these big, bold, huge, overreaching, nonsensical statements, telling stories that had no beginning, middle, or end, just random rambling, and trying to say that, like, well, what he just said, like, these cops are out here breaking the law all the time by enforcing the law. Yeah, and that's another thing, Rogue. See, it's amazing how many things me and Rogue Nation actually agree upon. The level of grifting that these frauditors are doing is amazing to me. It blows my mind to see these frauditors get away with all the grifting they do.
Note that I am
idiot.
At least 30 feet, as you see, where I'm at now.
All right, let's get to some more of the
Yeah, I
meaty
want to
stuff.
give these guys an excuse.
I want to give them an excuse. I want to give them an excuse. Hold on. Where's the meaty one? Come on, where is
You're
it?
watching. Rick is coming. Watch how aggressive he is. Watch how aggressive this cop is. Look at this. Look how aggressive he is.
What?
He's aggressive. He's aggressive.
Where is it? Come on.
Win. What? Under citizen's arrest back in July. That arrest will stand in a civil court. You'll see. Arrest means all arrest means is I'm going to redress you. And
Whatever. Anyway, we covered this idiot enough yesterday, so you guys know how stupid he is. What's up, Scott Ammo? Good to see you. All right. First of all, I will say this. We got Mitten State, we got Rogue, we got David. If nothing else, can we all agree that Chili DeCastro is an absolute nightmare of a human being and a grifter and a con artist? And I mean, he's doing all the same things you're doing, but on a much, much, much larger scale. Oh, man. The fact that both sides hate Chili so much is the one thing we could all come together on. So anyway, all of this nonsense. Wait a minute. What? Show your evidence or shut up. Evidence for what? Did somebody say something bad about unclean hands or vilified freedom? Oh, Rogue. No. You can't do that. No, Rogue Nation. I am sorry, but you cannot do that. I don't know if Vilified's still in the house, but let me tell you something, Rogue. So, if I said to you guys, because this chat is mostly my people in here, I love you guys. Thank you for coming out. And they love me. They're here every morning supporting this channel. I love it. Love my crew. The Hezokuai morning crew, best people ever. If I said to them, because like right now, we got a hurricane going on outside, right? Like I said, it's not that bad yet. I'm still on. It's all good, but I'm going to cut it off pretty soon because I'm going to have to go hunker down because it's supposed to get worse this afternoon. If the hurricane comes through today and ends up tearing down part of my house, And then I come on here tomorrow morning because I come on here every day and I say to my fans, hey, guys, just letting you know the hurricane tore down my wall. It's going to cost me thousands of dollars to rebuild it. If you could help out, please, I'd be very happy. I'm humbly, you don't have to do anything. Just letting you know if you guys could help, it would be great. Right. And then they give me money. That doesn't make me a grifter. That doesn't make me a con man. The fact that Vilified Freedom needed help to buy something and then bought it is way different than Chili saying, I need all this money to fight Kate Peter with my frivolous lawsuit. And then everyone sends him money. And then he takes that money and he goes on vacation and films it and live streams it. Like, oh, the money you guys said. Dude, I've seen Chili DeCastro literally. Okay, this has happened. What's with the ones in the chat? I didn't ask for one. What are we wanting for? I hope it's something good. Put a one in the chat if Chili's a beta. Oh, heck, I'm going to put a one in the chat for that. Okay. So no, Rogue, it's not the same because the idea is the false pretenses. That's the point. It's the lies and the false pretenses. And that's what she just said. That's what Leland, I think, just said. If I tell you that I need money to fix my house and you give me money thinking you're helping me fix my house and that's what I use it for, then there's nothing wrong with that. But if I tell you I need money to fix my house and I use it to fly to Vegas and do some blow and get some hookers, that's not what you paid for. That's a grift. Okay, that's the difference. You're going around telling your fans that they need to give you money because you're supporting freedom in the First Amendment by being a vicious, vile, horrible, rotten, no good, disgusting, non-empathetic piece of human garbage and getting in people's faces and making them cry and feel bad and going out of your way to harass women and film yourself doing it. That's different. That makes you're saying that you need money to stand up for your rights a lie, because that's not what you're doing. Tell the truth. Just tell the truth. Just say, look, just make a video where you go out and you say, look, everybody, I just want you to all know and understand, because it seems like more and more people are becoming frauditors. More and more people are like Daryl Brooks, for example, goes to court and actually makes these arguments as if they're real. That means that the message we're putting out there, the false narrative, the lies, the non-existent laws, the BS that we sell, people are starting to buy it. And that's dangerous for society. So I'm going to be a responsible person who's actually trying to make this world a better place. And I'm going to step back and I'm going to let you know it's all bullshit. It's all lies. It's all nonsense that we just do to try and make money. Please don't think that this stuff is real. It's just an act that we put on for YouTube. And, quit trying to actually use this stuff in the real world, because it doesn't work. Anyway, now see, Rogue, well, no, I'm not even going to acknowledge that because that's just stupid. The whole point of what I wanted to get into today, the bulk of what I wanted to cover on the show, and all of these things all tie into it. That's why I keep going with it, is like I said earlier, my mission statement has always been, and this is on my main page, is me saying, and I'm going to say it again, my mission statement is, I am just an independent journalist using my First Amendment freedom of the press to work on a story about frauditors, okay? But I've added to that just this morning. I've added another line to that. I didn't put it in the intro video on my page, but I'm telling you guys, I've decided that I don't just want to point and laugh at stupid people anymore. I want to add something to that. I actually want to try and red pill you guys back into the real world, because your false narrative, blue pill nonsense is actually starting to spread, and people are actually starting to think this stuff is real. People are actually starting to believe your lies, and it's having a negative effect on society in general. The more your garbage spreads through the internet, the more idiots are going to believe it. They don't know that you're just playing a character to try and get paid. They don't know that you're just doing this on purpose to piss people off because you think it's funny. They actually believe in the nonsense you're spinning. That's dangerous, man. So now it's becoming more and more important for me not just to call you guys idiots, but to try and teach you why you're idiots, to try and teach the truth about what's going on. So let's go back and look at some of the arguments that I'm hearing from people and see exactly what's going on with this. All right. So let's see. Let's talk about, first of all, the way that these people try and sell their nonsense. Okay. It's difficult sometimes to really put in perspective the mindset of the idiots, especially when you're not an idiot. You hear what these guys are saying, and it just sounds so stupid. And it's like, how could they possibly believe this nonsense? So to start, you have to understand that you have to understand what their minuscule, insignificant, black-hearted minds actually believe, okay? And once you start understanding what they believe, then it makes it easier to understand why they say the stupid things they say, because you're getting the basis, the foundation on which the stupid things they say are built. Now, before I begin, I want to throw a little disclaimer out there. People like Silence Boy, Casey Camera Boy, NC Tyrant Hunter, people like that, they don't believe in anything, and they don't try to pretend they do. I mean, even Josh Abrams will say that he plays a character when he's doing his audits, right? They know that they're wrong. They know that it's BS, but they don't care. They're getting paid. What's up, KFAR? They're getting paid. So they just want to keep doing it and making more money, right? So I'm not talking about them because they don't actually believe in this nonsense. They just use it to sell their narrative and to make money on YouTube. I'm talking about people who actually, truly, deep down in their souls, but don't boot anyone unless they're like being like sexist or racist or anything, because I'm trying to red pill these idiots, and I want them to hear what I have to say. Okay. So it all starts with with changing the definitions of words. Okay. Like, for example, crime, criminal activity. In their minds, the definition of crime is I killed somebody or I stole somebody's car. Okay. So you have to start there. You have to start with the understanding that if you say to them, well, he got in trouble because he committed a crime, they're going to argue, no, they didn't. And you're like, you watch the video and you clearly see the guy commits a crime and then gets in trouble for it. And then, so it seems insane. Like, how could you watch a video with somebody committing a crime and then sit here and tell me that there was no crime committed? Because you have to understand their definition of crime is their definition that they pulled out. Well, they didn't pull it out of their butt. And I don't want to get into the history of it because everybody and their brothers talked about it. You got the scripts, the original sovereign citizen scripts that were written back in the 70s. And the foundation where all of this information, once the internet hit and it was able to spread to everybody, that all this false information and nonsense built. So they didn't just pull this stuff out of thin air. There are places where they come from, but the places where they come from are places of bullshit. And I'll use a real life example. I don't know how much you guys know about like history and this sort of stuff. There was a book written, I think it was written in Russia, and the book was a fiction novel. It was a fiction novel written in Russia. Again, I think it was Russia at the time because the Soviet Union is blah, 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 blah. So let's not get into that. But the point is, because I don't want to turn this into a history lesson. I'm just saying this to make a point. Okay. So they build this whole thing, right? There's this book that was written. And again, it's not the same, but you'll see if you pay attention, it all will tie together. I promise. So this book was written, I think it was in the late 1800s, early 1900s. And it was a fictional story about, and the whole point of it was to sort of use, it's not sarcasm. What's the word I'm looking for? It's subversion. It was trying to subversively use this fictional story as a way to make a point about the aristocracy. Okay. So just real quick, David, I taught K through 9. I taught high school, kindergarten, everything. I was a substitute teacher. Okay. So I would go in between any age group, any class. I was licensed for all of it. So anyway, so this book was written. It was a fictional story that the idea behind it was meant to be subversive against the aristocracy at the time. And you couldn't just flat out write it because then it would never get published because, hey, you're saying bad things about the government, so we're going to shut you up, blah, blah, blah. So he wrote this fictional story about this fictional group, NCR News Network. What's up? Good to see you. That had this extremely, like the evil group in the book had this extremely detailed plan to use subversion, which is funny because the whole point of the book was to be subversive. Nobody said meta back then, but it was meta. And it was actually brilliant in the way that it laid out this secret plan to take over the world, that the villains in the fictional novel, this was their plan. Okay. Years later, somebody took that part of that book, plagiarized it word for word, but the only difference was any mention in the book of the fictional bad guys that the book was about was changed and replaced with Hebrews, Jews, this and that. And then the section of this fictional book that was stolen verbatim from this older novel was rebranded The Protocols of the Elders of Zion and sold as this guy snuck into a synagogue and found their secret plan to take over the world and then published it. And nobody cared. Just wanted to say it loud. Thank you, Salacious. Rise and shine with Hezokuai. Yes, getting under the skin of the frauditors like a rash. Love it. Thank you very much, Salacious. So the Protocols of the Elders of Zion was published and sold as I snuck into a synagogue and found the secret Jewish papers that prove that they're trying to take over the world. I just told you the whole story of where it actually came from, right? But It was published under the guise of being a legitimate conspiracy from the Jews to take over the world. Got published, went out there, nobody bought it, nobody cared, and that was it. End of story. So why am I even bringing it up? Because in the 1930s, a prisoner in jail named Adolf Hitler got his hands on a copy of this book from the library in the prison, and it just, whether or not he actually knew it was fake doesn't matter. The point is he used that book to feed his anti-Semitic rhetoric. Okay, so what the hell does all this have to do with anything? Spreading this false idea and the danger that it has to society for you guys to put all these sovereign citizen nonsense ideas, all these false definitions that are made up, that aren't real. You're taking the Mark Stevens script and all these other nonsensical made up BS law definitions that aren't real and selling them as if they are, and people are believing it. And that's where it becomes dangerous. You guys walking around filming yourselves being idiots isn't dangerous. The lies that you're spreading and the fact that more and more people, based on the more frauditors we're seeing pop up and the more you're reading the comments and seeing their followers and how these people love to brag about how they got millions of views, that means there's millions of idiots that are blue pilling, that you're blue pilling into your false ideology, your insane ideology is dangerous to society. And that's what you idiots are doing. And you think it's funny because you're just getting your YouTube dollars and happy, joy, joy. No, it's way worse than that. It's gotten way beyond that. When you got people like Broken System, Broken Trust actually showing up at K Farr's house, that's not just an idea anymore. That's not just laughing at some idiot being stupid anymore. This is real life. This is getting into people's personal life. This is bad. This is dangerous. This has got to be stopped. And so let's go back to talking about crime, okay? Their definition of crime is somebody has to be physically injured or somebody has to steal their stuff. Okay. Now, you're talking to one of these people and you're saying, well, this guy got in trouble. He got pulled over for committing a crime. And they, what's up, Abby? And they say, well, there was no crime there. I didn't see a crime in the video. It seems to us like they're stupid because we watched the same video you did. I saw the crime clearly. You didn't, because their definition of crime is somebody got hurt or somebody got something stolen from them. Their definition of crime isn't the definition of crime. It's their definition of crime. What's up, Conspiracy Music? So when you say, well, he got in trouble for committing a crime, they're going to argue that they didn't. We think they're nuts because they have a different definition of the word crime. There has to be an injured party. Well, there was no injured party, so there was no crime. But that's just part of it, right? That's just even a tiny little piece. Because, and again, this goes back to why, like when I was on BSBT stream the other day and I mentioned the Darrell Brooks thing, they all went nuts. Like, hey, we're not comparing ourselves to him. And how dare you invoke his name and blah, blah, blah. It's like, no. You're not understanding my point. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Frauditor's not understanding a point. Whoa, what a surprise, huh? Never expected that. Not from this group of brain stems or whatever the heck they are. So now you go into a place like this and you say, there's no crime committed because there's no injured party, right? That's the basis of the argument. So then I go in there, I start talking to him, and I mention Darrell Brooks, and they freak out. Why would you mention him? Well, let me explain to you why I would mention him, okay? He murdered 6 people, injured over 60, and in court made the argument that there was no injured party. They might say, well, that's stupid. Exactly. Yes. Thank you. That's stupid argument. Well, it's not the same as a traffic citation, but it's the same argument. This is the thing that's not clicking in your heads. But when I'm watching a real trial for a real murderer and he uses these things, it's not just me pointing out some idiots on YouTube saying something stupid. This is a real guy in a real murder trial using these arguments in real life. It's actually spreading to that point where even murderers are starting to believe in this nonsense. An injured party cannot, if you killed them, testify against you in court because they're freaking dead. So, case needs to be dismissed. There's no injured party to testify against me. That's his argument. Where did he get that argument from? You think he just pulled that out of thin air? Or did he get it from watching videos by people like you idiots? Spreading your nonsense to these people actually believe it. And I'll tell you something else too. Because, see, now I have to pull this up. Hold on. Wait a second. I want to make a point about this. Let's see. Sorry about that. All right. So the Brooks trial should have ended any sovereign citizen argument in court at all. And see, okay, hold on. Let me go back for a second, because now we're getting into this debate I'm seeing in the chat about what did he say? I want to learn to be a Christian that judges other people daily. Can you show me how to do that? Sure, that's easy. That's real easy. So let me explain it to you, because obviously, as everything else, your brain can't comprehend basic logic or principles or ideas or thoughts. I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with, I don't know if you've been smoking crack or what, but all right. So here's what it is. All right. The idea of not judging people, being a Christian and being open to all other people and all other opinions and not judging them, is a base, fundamental idea that comes with Christianity. Yes. But I don't even think Jesus himself, okay, painting it the way you are painting it would be the equivalent to saying, if I'm sitting here and some random dude breaks into my house and grabs my 13-year-old daughter by the back of her head, throws her down on the floor, rips her clothes off of her, starts giving it to her while stabbing her in the neck, I'm not going to do anything because that would be judgmental. I don't want to judge him for being bad. A certain amount of what you would call being judgmental is not what we're talking about. It's not what Christian values are about. If somebody comes in here and starts assaulting my daughter, they're probably going to end up dead, and I'm going to be the one who killed them. All right? Does that make me a judgmental prick because I think he's a bad guy? Because I think he needs to be stopped? Is it judgmental for me to think that somebody should have stopped Daryl Brooks? Oh, no, just let them murder people because I don't want to be judgmental. Your argument doesn't hold up to any real scrutiny at all. Okay? Because what's up, Hank? Because if you want to talk about Christianity and being judgmental, how about Jesus walking into the temple and flipping over the tables? Okay? Was he judging those people? Well, he was acknowledging that what they were doing was abhorrent and atrocious and unacceptable. It has nothing to do with judgment. It has to do with fact. That's the difference. That's the difference. There's two things. There's right and there's wrong. And if somebody is wrong, they're wrong. I'm not judging them. They're wrong. If somebody comes up to you and says 2 + 2 is 187, you say, no, it's not, it's 4. Does that mean you're judgmental? No, because they're wrong. If somebody's wrong, they're wrong. What you guys do is wrong. Period. How about that? Well, it's legal. I didn't say that. I said it's wrong. But the Constitution says, okay, but it's wrong. Yeah, but I can do it. Okay, but it's wrong. You don't get that. There's right and there's wrong. And what you do is wrong. Period. Let's see. Where are we at here? Just getting back, looking back at the chat. Let's see. So if I do all that, then I can judge people all day like the Bible says. I don't know. Based on the way you behave, Rogue, in your life in general, and again, I don't know you outside of what I see on YouTube, but just based on what I see on your channel, I don't think you have God in your heart at all. Otherwise, you wouldn't behave that way. So quit talking about the Bible, because if you touched one, it would probably burst into flame. Let's see. What's up, Mike? How you doing? Welcome. Anyway, I'm not trying to make this a religious channel, but since people are bringing it up, I'm addressing it. Yeah, you guys and your false narratives, it is insane the way you guys constantly build them and try to get people to believe it. So the other thing I wanted to talk about with these insane ideas that these people try to sell and that are dangerous to society in general is this idea that the only reason traffic codes exist is because it's a form of extortion. So once again, there's this thing called history. And if you look at it, you can see what happens when there are no traffic codes, because you can see what went on before there were traffic codes. And believe it or not, the reasons why they impose speed limits and stop signs and red lights is because when they didn't enforce them, nobody obeyed them. People would just drive on any side of the street and run people over and smash into each other, and nobody cared, and it didn't matter, and it was chaos. All right, so they created traffic codes. So what? So nothing. Nobody did anything because nobody cared, because there was no enforcement of them. There's a stop sign. So what? Bam, run into the other car. Well, why'd you do that? There was a stop sign. Because there's nothing to stop me from going through a stop sign. So they had to create some way to enforce these laws. Would you rather they lock you in jail for going through a stop sign? Do you really think that's appropriate punishment for going through a stop sign? Especially when we have overcrowded prisons that are full of child molesters and murderers and rapists and all these horrible people that are even bigger scumbags than you guys are. Do you really think that locking you up with them is appropriate for going through a stop sign? No, it's not. But they got to do something, so they have a fine. If you don't understand that, you're dumber than I thought you were. But let me explain it again, just to make sure, because I know you guys have probably heard this argument before, but for some reason your brain doesn't allow it to comprehend. So let me try and explain it one more time, but this time I'll put it in simpler terms so that maybe you'll understand. You're dumb. traffic law, safety, extortion, mafia, no police, you stupid, me smart, traffic laws, necessary, extortion, nothing to do with it. Do you understand that? All right. So let's see. Let's get back for a second and get caught up on the chat here. Let's see. Still have permits in place. Oh, you guys are talking about gun laws now? And I love the fact that these guys always like to take so many things out of context or cherry pick certain bits and pieces of things. Now, I don't want to get into a debate about the Second Amendment, but how come you guys always ignore the well-organized militia has the right to bear arms? The well-organized militia has a part. You want to make it so that I could go to the store right now and buy a fully automatic assault rifle for what? Well, because I can. All right, but why am I doing that? Well, for protection. I could keep a 22 right here for protection. Why do I need a fully automatic assault rifle? Well, what if 700 people come into your house? Well, that's not going to happen unless you guys get your way and all the laws are canceled, and then everyone will, and then I will need an AR-15. Look, wait, watch, check it out, check it out. Look, watch. Look at what's happening. Seriously, like, it's going to seem like, oh, this is just stupid dead air. I'm making a point, though. What's happening right now? Now, let's think about the Frauditor idea that they try to paint to the world. And look at what's happening to me right now. Am I being arrested? For no reason? Are mobs and mobs and mobs of people banging down my door to try and steal all my shit and that I need an AR-15 to stop them? Where is it? Where's this world that you guys keep building? Can you have a gun? Of course. It's in the Second Amendment. But to sit here and argue that having a license to carry a gun is an infringement on your right to carry a gun, here's the thing. Making guns illegal, that would be a violation of the Second Amendment. Making you have to apply for one and get a permit, especially because criminals love shooting people, isn't taking away your guns. Stop being scared. Stop being afraid. The government isn't trying to steal your guns. Because even though I was trying to make an example to prove a point, the fact of the matter is, if I wanted to, I could go to Walmart right now and buy myself a shotgun or a rifle. Just like that. So, what's the problem? Well, the government's trying to take our guns. No, they're not. Well, they want us to get a permit. Okay. But what does that have to do with them taking your guns? You have to fill out a form? Oh my God, I have to fill out a form. I have to pick up a pencil. The government's making me pick up a pencil. I have to fill out a form. Oh my God. What do I do? They want me to pick up a pencil and fill out a form. Oh no. What do I do, guys? What do I do? The government wants me to fill out a form. I have to actually write something. Oh no. They're taking away my rights. They're taking away my freedom. They're trying to make me slave because they want me to fill out a form before I get my gun. Oh. Cowards, betas, idiots. How about they? Fill out the form, asshole. get your gun. And then you can sit there and wax it all day long and gloat and smile about how the government didn't take away my rights. Good. Have fun with it. More power to you. It is your right. So go ahead. Go wax your gun. But the government's trying to take away my gun. Then how come you still have one? Well, but I needed a permit. Oh, did you have to fill out a form? Did the poor little baby have to fill out the form? Oh no, poor baby. I feel so sorry for you. When you literally have a president saying he's going to take guns and governors defying the Supreme Court. What? Let's see. It's like clicking a seatbelt. You have to give them your fingerprint. Yeah, I would hope so. Yeah, the government has always been trustworthy. No, I wouldn't say that. That's a lie. See, there you go, Rogue, lying again. The government's always trustworthy. See, all he does is lie. Lie. Of course not. That's insane to think that. So we all wait. Who are you talking to? What is this? Do you think if they could, they would take them away? They can't because it's a violation of the Second Amendment. So it's not going to happen. Let's see. We should kiss the government. No, Mitten. You got it backwards. See, I don't know you, so maybe you're new to this whole frauditing thing. The way it actually works in the real world is that everyone has to kiss the frauditor's ass and lose their freedom and give it all to the frauditors. That's your goal. You walk into a post office and they can't do their job. No, they have to bend over backwards to accommodate you because you're a frauditor. If you walk into City Hall, they can't do their job. Everyone has to drop what they're doing and bow down and lick the boots of the frauditor. Don't you see? It's not about you kissing the government's ass. It's about you wanting everyone in the world to kiss your ass. And if they don't, that's a fail. Don't you get it? It's the opposite of what you're saying. What you're trying to do is get every single person because they're your servant, to kiss your ass. And if they don't, you call it a fail. So what are you talking about kissing the government's ass? Because you had to fill out the form. That's the same thing as kissing ass. You just have to fill out a form. Did the poor baby have to fill out a form? Maybe give a fingerprint. Maybe go like that. Most people give fingerprints to their cell phone, for crying out loud. But you poor little incel snowflake baby has to fill out a form to get his big, fully automatic assault rifle because you're such a man. You need to prove it by having this big gun that could kill 5,000 people to protect yourself from who exactly? Well, the government, when they come and try to take my guns. And when does that happen exactly? And when was the last time that happened? And why would that ever happen? It doesn't make sense. And again, but what happens if the government does try to take your guns? Well, it's not going to happen because we have the Second Amendment. But I have to fill out a form. Okay, so your argument that you have to fight for the Second Amendment because the government's trying to take away your guns doesn't hold up because what's happening is you have to fill out a form. Poor baby. Yeah, I feel sorry for you. Not! All right, let's see. Not everyone bases things off of feelings. Some could look through logic. I would love it if some frauditors took that advice and started using logic. That would be so awesome if some of you guys would start thinking about things logically instead of just using this blue pill nonsense to make your arguments. Let's see. I don't have a gun and I'm safe. Exactly. The only reason you guys need one is because you've decided that the government is out to get you. Why? Because you have to pay taxes for the roads. You're going to build them yourself. You're going to pour the concrete. You're going to freaking flatten everything out. You're going to get all the materials. You're going to get everything's going to shut down. You ain't going to be able to fart. You ain't going to have, you're sitting here talking to me on the internet. Who's launching the satellites? You? Who's building them? You? There are government regulations for a reason. Oh, you guys make me so mad. It's like, and the way that like Rogue Nation tried to spin it earlier, right? It's like he always does this. This is, and I've always praised Rogue Nation for being an expert at doing this. He is the master at deflecting and twisting and turning and answering questions with questions and bringing up all this other unrelated nonsense and trying to make it relevant. So, hold on. So, he's in here earlier trying to make this point, and we're all talking about all this because people see things differently. They're just wrong, all wrong. Here's the thing. If you say, well, I think this, then I'll say, well, that's your opinion. That's great. But if you say 2 + 2 = 6, I'm going to tell you you're wrong because you're wrong. Not because of my feelings, not because of my opinion, because you're wrong. Wrong is wrong. Right is right. Wrong is wrong. You're wrong. Doesn't matter if you like it. You talk about feelings. You don't like that you're wrong. The like is a feeling, butthead. So what's the argument? What's the argument? Oh, they only care about feelings, but you feel insulted by the fact that we know you're wrong. You feel that you don't like the fact that we're calling you out for being wrong. When you're wrong, you're wrong. It isn't about feelings. It isn't about opinions. It's about facts. The fact is you're wrong. How do you not understand this? 2 + 2 is 4. It's not 37 because some guy wrote 2 + 2 is 37 in the 1970s, and then someone on the internet said, hey, 2 + 2 is actually 37, and for some stupid reason, all these idiots believed it. Let's see. Marzipan, what's up? Mitch Norris, what's up? Are the Federalist Papers part of the Constitution? No, they are not. Well, you know what? That's another thing that I like to point out too, because I've been in arguments just recently with some of these guys, and they love to quote the Declaration of Independence as though it were part of the Constitution. It's not. That's why it's the Declaration of Independence, and the Constitution is the Constitution, and they are two different things. Why? Because they are two different things. Let's see. Someone taught Brooks soft-sittery in jail. They are the explanation of what the amendments mean in the Supreme Court. Oh, you're talking about the Federalist Papers? Right, but that's the same thing as Black's Law Dictionary, right? Real legit lawyers use Black's Law Dictionary. That is a tool. A tool used to help interpret the law. It's a tool used to help interpret the law. The tool is not the law. The hammer is not the nail. The nail is not the table. They are tools that are used. But the thing itself is something else. The law is the law. You're talking about Federalist Papers and preambles and whatever you're talking about, and Black's Law dictionaries are tools used to help interpret the law, but they are not themselves the law. So just because it says something in there, that doesn't mean it's the law. That doesn't mean it's binding. Unless you're an idiot, then it's binding. Or a sovereign citizen or a frauditor. Mores means more for, well, okay. Let's not get into the Moors right now. I'll probably do a whole show on them coming up. What I'm waiting for, and I'll just be straight up legit with you guys. What I'm waiting for is the idea that, and by the way, Debos Nation says, I am the law. Oh, man. Anthrax. What was the good one? There was the Sylvester Stallone one that was crap, but I know recently there was a good one. What's up, Jay Carr? Welcome. Good to see you, buddy. You will respect my authority. Mitch Norris talking about constitutional carry. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. And again, just because like we've been talking about it a little bit, I want to go back and make sure that I make it absolutely clear that I am not in any way trying to sound like I'm against any of the amendments, right? I'm not saying, well, the amendments that I was against have been amended again since then. But anyway, the idea that Americans have a right to bear arms, I'm not arguing that point at all. All I'm saying, and I've said it 3 times now, is you're acting like the government is trying to destroy us, which in and of itself doesn't make any sense. We'll get back into that. And take our guns and do all these terrible, horrible things to us, because if you want to buy a gun in some places, you have to fill out a form first. Poor little incel snowflake baby's got to write some stuff on a piece of paper to apply for their gun permit. Oh no. What a horrible disaster. I got to write something down on a piece of paper. Oh no, poor me. No sympathy. World's tiniest violin. Fill out your stupid form, get your stupid permit, buy your stupid gun. Done. Quit bitching. All right. What's up? No, J-Car, most people don't understand that at all. Do you need a fainting couch? I'm telling you, no, there's no way that this is going to make me pass out. All right. This stuff gets me charged up and happy, right? It gets my heart pumping in my days. There's no way that this is going to make me pass out or. Anyway, yeah. Everyone is armed, so that makes it a peaceful place because everyone's terrified of pissing off their armed neighbors. Yep. Let's see. Stop spreading falsehoods. Yeah. These idiots definitely need to stop spreading falsehoods. And that's all they do, right? They just go around spreading their false narratives and their lies and trying to get everyone to believe in their crap. Which brings me back to the other issue I wanted to discuss today. And it's the issue of the Fourth Amendment. And the idea that you have the right to be secure in your person and property and blah, 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 blah. So if there was a knock on my door right now, and now wait a minute, is Stephen Alley arguing with me, or are you arguing with the idiots? I didn't get caught up on the chat, but it's starting to look like Stephen Alley has a problem. What are we saying here? I missed the conversation. What did I miss? Because I know for a fact that Stephen Alley is one of my boys, one of my homies. So what's up? What did I miss? Oh, you're fighting about how powerful an AR-15 is? I think the whole issue with the AR-15 thing just became a thing because of the idea of this Kyle Rittenhouse situation, right? And the fact that he was using an AR-15. I think that's what really gave it that reputation, because it does look like, and especially because it says AR in the title, that you're thinking of fully automatic, military grade assault rifles, but that's not what an AR-15 is. I'll admit that. Let's see. So what am I missing? The government issues ID. She could use it to ID. Let's see. So again, I'm not here to argue gun rights. I'm just here to argue the idea that the fact that you have to fill out a form to own one is some kind of big, huge anti-government conspiracy to destroy the Second Amendment, to me is an argument that just sounds like a bunch of crybaby nonsense that are upset that they have to fill out a form. Just shut up, fill out a form, and go get your gun. Just go buy a 22 or 38. That's more than enough to stop somebody who's trying to rob your house. If you have to carry an AR-15, maybe you'd be better off not leaving the house, right? See, that's the problem. In Florida, we got this storm going on right now and all that. Okay, so Stephen Alley, it's not about the form. Okay, right? It is for me. That's what I'm talking about. What are you talking about? I'm talking about the form, right? But if you're saying it's not about the form, then what is it? What is it that you're talking about? I'm talking about the form. If you're talking about it's the fact that the government is trying to take our guns, nobody's knocking on my door trying to get my gun. What are you talking about? And if you say, well, they're trying to pass laws and blah, 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 it doesn't matter, because the Second Amendment's not going to allow that to happen. And Congress can fight back and forth all day about it. It's not going to happen. And you could scream and yell and cry and harp about it all you want. It's not going to happen, because people who say things like that are proof. And I guarantee you that I don't care if you're an auditor. I don't care if you're a sovereign citizen. I don't care if you're a Moor. I don't care if you're a conservative, Christian, cis male. I don't care what you are or what you believe in. If the government actually repealed the Second Amendment, that would not stick. Too many people would be seriously pissed off, and there would be major riots in the street, and it would not last. Okay, so I am quite confident that that's a non-issue, because it's not going to happen. And if you think it's going to happen, just look at the responses from people in the chat when you talk about gun laws. People go nuts. It's not going to happen. A constitutional revitalization. Yeah, we should just throw the whole thing out and start over and go by what these guys want. It's legal for everyone to do everything, period. If you want a road, build your own. If you want internet access, build your own and launch your own satellite. If you want Wi-Fi, build your own and create your own cell phones. And everything is legal, and no one has to do anything. So please try not to eat your neighbor if you can not starve to death before then. Good luck. Fuck you, period. That's the new Constitution, because that's the one that these guys want. All right, so let's see. Guns are good, cameras are bad, which is funny because you can't shoot somebody with a camera. Well, they do call it shooting, don't they? Let's see. But Leland, let me tell you something. They really should rewrite the Constitution. Let me tell you something about that. And to be honest, for the most part, I've been having fun with you guys this morning. I always do. I love you guys. I love having fun, and it's a good time. And I'm not stupid. I know I talk a lot of shit, but I do it to try and make a point, to try and use a certain amount of sarcasm and humor to make a point. But truly, realistically, and in all 100% seriousness, the reason why the United States is the greatest country in the world, the reason why the United States does have the greatest constitution in the world is because it was specifically created, written within it, the ability to change it. That's what amendments are. If you think it should be changed, that's what amendments are for. So that we legally, within the Constitution itself, change the Constitution. That's the whole point. That's what makes it so great and so wonderful. What's up, Dana? Is that we do have that option. Okay? If you want to repeal the second, look at prohibition. That right there proves that you can fight to make an amendment that later can be fought to amend. That's a perfect example. They fought and fought and fought until they made an amendment making alcohol illegal. And then after that, they fought to get the amendment to get rid of that amendment. Like, it can always grow and change, and things can be done. So it's a beautiful thing, right? But ultimately, saying that, it's like adding to the terms of a contract. Exactly. That's exactly what it's like. But be careful when you say that, J-Car, because you know how these idiots like to say, well, I didn't contract with the government, so I'm not bound by that contract. So watch when you say the word contract, but I understand what you meant. You can't get rid of it, but you can amend it. That's right. Let's just, for me, final word on the gun thing, because I want to move on, because I wanted to start talking about the Fourth Amendment. Final word about the gun thing. Do you legally have the right under the Constitution to own a gun? Yes. Is the government trying to create gun laws to stop that? I know there's a thing, but I don't think that that's going to... No, it wasn't, Kim. It wasn't, Kim. Roe v. Wade had nothing to do with the Constitution. Let's see. So the government, the people, everything, blah, 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 whatever. Guns are legal, and that's what they are. And you do not have to worry about the government taking your guns, because it's not going to happen. And then you could argue amendments all you want. The fact of the matter is, love them or hate them, there are still Republicans, and they're still going to do everything they can to make sure that that doesn't happen. And if it does, they're going to do everything they can to make sure they repeal it. Believe me, it's not an issue. You might not like this or you might not like that, but that's why you can. Class, what did we have the opportunity to do just the other day that actually could stop what you're complaining about? You could go to the polls and you could, what's the word? Come on, guys. Vote. Thank you, Leland. Exactly. There you go. There's the answer. End of story. You don't like gun laws? Vote. You love vote laws? Vote. There you go. There's your answer. Thank you. Welcome to America. You don't like it? Vote. No, I got a better idea. Let's walk down. Let's find a place that's full of children and walk in there with an AR-15 strapped to our chest, because the Second Amendment gives me the right to do it. Or you could vote. I mean, if you want to stop the government from limiting your ability to walk into a room full of children with a loaded AR-15 strapped to your chest. You walk into a building full of children with an AR-15 strapped to your chest? Or you could vote. Whatever. I said it a long time ago. Your thing must be slow. Vote or die. Remember that? Yeah. Limiting press. You want to do that? That's a terrible idea too. That also goes against the First Amendment, and that's fundamental. All right. So going back to the subject I wanted to discuss before, somehow this whole thing turned into a gun debate. And I wasn't trying to go there. I was just trying to make a point, and then I was looking at the chat and it blew up. So the Fourth Amendment, the idea that when a police officer asks you for your ID, that's a violation of the Fourth Amendment, goes back to the way that these people change definitions in their minds based on nonsensical rhetoric. And again, that's why it becomes so difficult to understand when you're talking to these guys, right? Because in your head, and I'm talking to people that are actually intelligent, in your head, you know and understand that if you're driving your car, you're going to have your driver's license on you so that it will be ready to present on demand. And if a cop pulls you over and asks you for your driver's license and you present it, if you did something wrong, then you'll get your ticket. Even if you did do something wrong, if you're cool and the cop's cool, maybe he'll let you go with just a warning. Or maybe you'll get a ticket, which you can later fight in court. But what these guys are saying, and this is why it's so hard to argue with them, is because the second you get to the cop asked you for an ID, all of a sudden there's this big major hubbubaloo. Perfect. Thank you, David, for saying that. All right, David, I'm talking to you directly right now. So I want to ask some questions. I want to see your answers in the chat, okay? No crime, no violation, no ID. Is speeding a violation? Is going through a stop sign a violation? Is driving the wrong way down a one-way street a violation? If you're getting pulled over and there was no violation, why did they pull you over? If there was no violation, why did you get pulled over in the first place? Well, because that's what cops do, is randomly pull people over. Then how come I never get pulled over? If there was no violation, why did you get pulled over in the first place? Now, you'd have to ask the cop. Well, I will, while I'm showing him my ID. When he says, may I see your driver's license? While I'm handing it to him, I'll say, hey, what's up? Why'd you pull me over? Or do you mind, whatever. Have what's called a conversation. Did you seriously say that? Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. All right, listen. Are you black? I don't know what you look like, David. Are you black? No? Then shut the hell up. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. You If you're, are you black, David? Are you black? So you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You're who's we? All right. Think about your lot. No, I'm sorry. These people don't have the ability to think. I'm going to break down your logic. Okay. So I refuse to carry a driver's license and present it to a police officer when I get pulled over for committing a violation. Why? Because black people are treated badly. Okay. I didn't ask you about racism. I didn't ask you about institutional racism. I didn't ask you about systemic racism. I didn't ask you about critical race theory. I asked you, if a cop pulls you over and asks for your ID, you say, I'm not going to show it to him if I didn't do anything wrong. And I say, well, why did they pull you over? If you didn't do anything wrong, why did they pull you over? And you said, well, sometimes other people get pulled over for other things. You're making the argument that you don't have to show ID if you didn't do anything wrong. So I'm telling you, what is any of the stuff you're talking? If you show it every time, then there's no argument. Cool. No argument. Good job. Problem solved. All right. So now back to other people other than David. The argument in general is that the officer asking you for your ID in and of itself is a violation of the Fourth Amendment. And that's where part of the problem comes in. Because you try to talk to these people, and when you say, why don't you just show your ID? They don't understand that when you get pulled over, you have to show your ID. Because if you don't have it, then you shouldn't be in the car in the first place. If you don't have a driver's license, you don't belong operating a 15-ton death machine without a license to operate such a dangerous piece of equipment. So you should have your license to do so on you at all times, so that you can present it on demand if you get pulled over. So they believe that if an officer asks you for ID, that's a violation of their Fourth Amendment right, which is why it's so hard to talk to them. Because when you say, just show them your ID, in their head, they're not thinking, show them your ID. In their head, they're thinking, they're stealing my Fourth Amendment freedom. They picture themselves being Mel Gibson getting his balls ripped off, screaming, freedom, right? When in reality, they're just being a dick and not giving their ID to a cop. Let's see. Auditors are, what's an auditor? Auditors are rarely driving. Cool. That's nice. I'm talking about the argument about the Fourth Amendment in general. Like we do sovereign citizens and auditors because they're two sides of the same coin. And believe me, if an auditor gets ID'd when they're not in their car, they'll still make the same argument. And the argument is stupid. It's a dumb argument. It's a nonsensical argument. And most importantly, it's wrong. And I've said this earlier today. There's only two things. There's right and wrong. There's opinion, but that's different. If you're wrong, then you're wrong. Saying that if you're auditing and a cop asks you for ID, that those words coming out of his mouth is a violation of your rights is wrong. That's it. It's that simple. What's up, LJ Sings? It's not a question of opinion. That's what you're not understanding. If you're outside and you're filming and somebody calls and says, we asked this guy to leave and he won't leave, so we want you to come here. And then the cops come and then they say, can I see your ID? The fact that those words came out of the officer's mouth in and of itself is not a violation of your Fourth Amendment right. It's not an opinion. It's a fact. You're wrong. It's not an opinion. It's a fact. Them saying those words is not a violation of your rights. Why is it so important for you guys to hide your identity anyway? Like, how many warrants do you have that you don't want the cop to find out about? You've been diddling kids on the side and you don't want the cop to know, so you're going to go out of your way to make sure you hide it from them? And here's another thing. And I love this. Because it happens all the time. They will say, when a cop asks them for an ID, they'll compare the police to Nazis asking for ID back in the day. Wow. That is not a fair comparison. It is insulting not only to the officer, but to the men who gave their lives fighting against tyranny, to compare cops asking you for an ID to a Nazi forcing you to give ID. And if you don't, you're going to get your brains blown out by a Luger. Now, let me go back for a second. Let's go back for a second. I say this almost every day. Wait a minute. Oh, wait. Hold on. Wait. Because somebody else said something. Because somebody else said this to me the other day. Because when your ID gets run, every other cop can see that. And then you have many ID runs. So then the next cop assumes you're a criminal. A criminal? All right. Sounds that's like a lot of assumptions on your part. I love when they make arguments about police assuming this, government assuming that, and this and that, when you're the one who's making all the assumptions. You assume that when a cop runs your driver's license, that immediately tells all other cops to be on the lookout for this guy. You're assuming that when you get pulled over and they run your license, they see this guy's license got run 200 times in the last week. And number three, if your license has been run that many times in that short a period of time where the cops actually do notice it, then maybe you're the problem. Maybe you need to learn how to stop doing things that make them want your ID. Maybe you need to learn how to drive. Maybe you need to go back to school and use your brain for once. If the cops are actually running your ID that much, maybe you're the problem that they need to. What are you doing that they need to do that all the time? If the cops are IDing you, right, that's why auditors don't ID, because they're assholes. Exactly. Let's see. Because they're criminals and they don't want to get caught. Exactly. They don't want the police to know that they have a criminal history, especially if they have warrants. They don't want the cops to find out about that. And most importantly, they want to be able to gloat on YouTube about how they got away with an ID refusal. I'm such a tough guy. I'm such a big alpha male because a cop asked me for my ID and I said no. I said no. I'm so happy that I said no. I said no. Wait, let's take our clothes off and get the wax out and start rubbing it on again. Oh, a cop asked me for an ID. Oh, yeah. And I said, no. Oh, baby. Oh, yeah. Oh, I said no when he asked me for ID. I'm so hot right now. Oh, baby. It gets me off. Frauditors don't ID because it's a way to start a confrontation. Finally, someone said something smart. What did I walk into, Ham Banana? Oh, I was just doing an impersonation of a frauditor going home after an ID refusal. The part of the video we don't see, which is the part where they take all their clothes off, watch the video of them doing the ID refusal, covering their body with, massage oil, and watching themselves say no. Oh, I said no when he asked me for ID. Oh, baby, I said no. Oh, I said no. Oh, ID refusal. That's what I was doing. Many people harass auditors at home, so they don't want to. Oh, there are people harassing auditors at home. I want to see those videos. That must be great. I think it would be fantastic if everyone started going to auditors' homes, standing on the sidewalk in front of their house. Could you imagine? You get like 75, 80 people all with their tripods pointed at an auditor's house and just standing there filming it all day. That would be beautiful. That'd be beautiful. What are you doing? I'm exercising my First Amendment right to film in public, asshole. I'm on the sidewalk, buddy. What are you going to do? You're loitering. No, I'm not. I'm filming. Got to pinch the nips. I'll tell you what, Ham Banana. I just invented that idea earlier today. I just riffed it. But now that I did that, I like it. And I think I'm going to start making that a little more. Like I might actually start carrying a bottle of baby oil. And whenever I start getting into that, explaining why they like to do this, be like, hey guys, I got the baby oil. You know what that means. Yes, they purposely go out of their way to look as suspicious as possible. And that's the thing. Like the whole ID refusal thing, that was his OnlyFans edition tape. Yeah, none of what they do on any level has anything to do with the arguments they make. And their arguments never hold up to any scrutiny at all. They're idiots. That's it. They're idiots. One of the things I want to say too, because what is this? Hold on. Okay, that's what paparazzi do all the time. Okay, this is another good one. All right. Oh, absolutely, Nikki. That's going to turn into something for sure. Auditors are paparazzi for cops. Okay. Now, you have a celebrity walking down the street, and there's a whole bunch of people with cameras saying, can I get a picture? Can I get a picture? Can you turn around and smile at the camera? Can you turn around and smile at the camera? Is that different than what they do? Oh, just taking pictures. Oh, that's even better. So is that what frauditors do? Hey, asshole, what are you doing? I'm standing here filming. What are you going to do about it? I have the right to film. I do whatever I want. I'll pepper spray your ass if you get in my face, fool. What you going to do, you beta? You little kitty diddler. What you going to do? You ain't going to do nothing because I'm on the sidewalk and I can do whatever I want when I'm on the sidewalk. Is that different than just standing there taking pictures of a celebrity as they walk past? Is it? I wonder. Nah, it's the same thing. Everything is equivalent to everything else. There's no such thing as false equivalencies. It's all the same. If I'm walking past a building and as I'm walking past, I have my camera out and I'm filming, is exactly the same thing as setting up my tripod in front of your building, pointing my camera at it, and standing there for 3 hours. It's identical. No difference at all. Except in every possible conceivable way, It's completely different, but they're no difference at all. It's the same thing. David always comes in here every day. And I'm going to bring this up one last time because I've been here actually 3 hours, which is great because with the storm going on outside, I didn't think I was going to last this long. So I'm very happy about that. But it is getting crazier outside. The storm is hitting harder. So I do have to go, get ready. I mean, hopefully, it's going to be like Ian and it's just going to blow through here. And I don't know if you guys remember, but those who've been following me for a while, when Ian hit, the house 2 houses down from me lost an entire wall of their house, was just gone the next day. The only thing I lost was a cactus, so that's fine. But hopefully this will be kind of the same thing. Like it'll blow through and nothing will happen. I'll be fine. And great. So I would much rather nothing happen, but I'd be ready for it than to not be ready and all of a sudden we get hit. And they're talking about it coming through here really, really hard within the next couple hours. So like I said, I want to start wrapping it up now. But before I do, I want to say to Dave and anyone else, oh, believe me, Nikki, it wasn't little. It was a big ass cactus. In fact, I'm going to use the one that's left in one of the sketches I'm working on. Well, I'll just kind of, because, you guys are my guys, so I'll let you know. My plan is, because I'm allergic to cactus, so it's not going to be real. But I wanted to do a sketch where this is my cactus, and I legally have the right to stab myself with the cactus. And then I start doing it because I'm standing up for liberty and justice. And then I'm going to be like laying on the ground, and there's going to be like foam coming out of my mouth because I'm allergic to cactus. And I'm going to be like, I'm a freedom fighter. God bless America. I have the First Amendment right to touch my own cactus and film it. And so I'm going to, because if you don't use your rights, you lose them. You got to flex and then pass out. It's going to be great. So what I'm trying to ask you, I keep getting distracted by the chat, David, and anyone else who's into frauditing or believes in frauditing or is on the frauditing side, I still have never gotten anything even close. I will, like I said, you too. We're more worried about you. An answer to this, okay? If the whole ID thing, having to present an ID, is such a major problem that you guys or that auditors need to go out there and fight it, why are there so many tens of thousands of ID refusal videos? If it was such a problem that you need to go out there and fight the problem, then how does even one ID refusal video exist at all? If these cops are out here forcing people to present ID, then why are there so many thousands of videos where they don't present the ID? Every ID refusal video ends with the cop asking for ID and the person not showing it. So what's the point? If you really are fighting for something, what are you fighting against? Now, if you were making a video and a cop asks you for ID and you say no, and he beats you over the head with a billy club for saying no, then I'd say you have a point. If the cop grabbed you and his partner pulled your wallet out of your pocket and they pulled your ID while punching you in the head and looking at your ID, then you'd have a point. But when I see video after video after video after video after video after video of thousands and thousands and thousands of videos where they say, where's your ID? And the guy says no. And the video ends with the walk of shame, which means the definition of walk of shame is 1, you didn't get stopped filming. You're still filming. So there's nothing for them to be ashamed of because they didn't stop you from filming. 2, they didn't get your ID. So they didn't violate any of your rights by forcing you to give up anything. 3, you're still talking to say walk of shame as they walk away. You're still talking as they walk away. So they didn't violate your freedom of speech. So you're still filming, you're still talking, you still have your ID. They didn't violate anything. What's the walk of shame? Where's the shame? Where's the problem? What are you fighting against? You're fighting against somebody not doing anything. So you bait them into doing stuff and they still don't do stuff. And that's what are you fighting against? The cops show up. They do nothing. They let you go. So what are you fighting against? I'm fighting against cops that do terrible stuff. Okay, show me one. Well, they're on the news. No. You're the one who's out there fighting against tyrannical cops. Show me one. Well, but this cop on the news did. Okay, you are out there making these videos to prove these terrible things are happening. Show me. Well, this cop asked for ID. Did he get it? No. So what? What are you fighting? You're fighting against some stories that you've heard on the news over the years that have nothing to do with you and that you have nothing to do with. These guys aren't going after bad cops. There are bad cops, but I don't see any auditors going after them. I see Rogue Nation bragging and talking all this stuff about some anonymous person sent him an email telling him that someone did something wrong once. What does that have to do with him? Whoever sent him the email might have done something, but what did Rogue do? He got the email and then took it. Oh, well, he reported the guy. That's what he did. Yeah, to the wrong people. He didn't go to internal affairs. He went to dispatch. How stupid can you possibly be? Anyway, on that note, I'm going to go hunker down for this storm. We got some furniture that we need to move out or in. It's pouring rain out there. We're going to get soaked. Love you guys. Thank you for joining me. Appreciate it. You guys came out in force today. We had over 50 people here at one point. I was getting super chats. This was a great day. It went very, very well. Love you guys. Thank you for coming out. Keep an eye on my community tab just in case if anything happens with the storm. I'll update you guys. You'll know about it. Because worst case scenario. See, I shouldn't even acknowledge this, but I'm going to because the accusation is that I won't acknowledge it. The blind guy video. You mean the blind guy video where the guy who was walking down the street and had something sticking out of his pocket, and the cop said, "What's that?" And he said, "Oh, well, actually, technically, I'm legally blind. So this is actually one of those walking canes. See, let me show you." And then he unfolds it. And then, is that the video? Oh, no. That's not the video you're talking about. That's not the video you're talking about. I remember the video you're talking about. The video you're talking about was the one where the guy's walking down the street and he's got a thing sticking out of his pocket. And the cop says, "What's that?" And he goes, "This is my walking device. Quit violating my rights. Get away from me, you tyrant piece of shit. Fuck you." Is that the video you're talking about? Asshole? All right. Nikki Red, thank you very much for the super chat. Love you. See you guys in the morning, hopefully. And as I always do at the end with my Elvis gnome. Yeah, I'm all shook up. Yeah.